And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, did you guys see that video of the airplane door, the airplane exit door getting opened during the flight? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Also, Lululemon loves crime, apparently. Or maybe they don't really care. Maybe they got insurance and when they engage in some light insurance fraud. Speaking of insurance, State Farm will no longer accept property insurance applications from the state of California for a variety of reasons we'll get to in a minute. Also, Travis Rudolph, the former NFL football player, is on trial for murder after what some are calling self-defense and others are saying he went a little bit too far. We'll talk about that in a minute. Trump has an issue with his former White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, and I don't really understand why. I think it's kind of a petty issue that got put on social media for some reason. There was a ridiculous speech at CUNY law school in which a person was appointed by her fellow classmates to go out and give. Also, we got to talk about a lot more that I've not mentioned on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh yeah, we're going to definitely get into it today. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are amazing. There's a lot I want to get into, a whole lot. I'm not sure where to start, but before I get into anything, again, thank y'all for being here. Also, you're listening to a podcast right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform after the show is over with, so you can listen to it audio only for free on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Also, go to my website. You have ablmerch.com. We got your hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. We also have anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Once you go to the front page of the website, there's always articles for each video that I produce, so you can see the sources, so you can see full videos without my commentary. Whatever you need to see, it'll be available right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my email address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All that good stuff is right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. Also, if you are wondering if you're talking to me or not, and you are conversing in email with someone, and you're like, hey, is this ABL? I wonder if I'm speaking to the real ABL. Well, go to the contact page, and if the email you're conversing with is not on the contact page, it's not me, okay? And a clue, like I always say in every show, a big clue would be if a person says that they are me and they talk to you about some Forex or Bitcoin. I mean, listen, all that extra stuff is not me. I'm going to say it until the cows come home, because I still get emails every now and again saying, hey, you know, I've been talking to this person. Is this you, ABL? No, it's not me. I promise it's not. I'm not going to talk to you about no get rich quick scheme or nothing like that. And if you're ever wondering if it's me or not, just go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. If it's not on there, then it's not me. Please don't get scammed. Ain't nobody got time for that in 2023. Okie dokie. So we got quite a few things on deck that I want to get into. I'm not really sure where to start. Where should I start? I kind of want to start at Lululemon. Get straight into it. So Lululemon, first of all, shout out to Lululemon's clothing. Their practices as far as a business might be a little bit shaky, but their clothing is good for me. I don't know anything about the yoga pants or anything. I got introduced to Lululemon for men, and they make good clothing for me, for the pants. I'm not wearing a yoga pants. I'm not walking around Home Depot with some ballerina pants on. No. They make men's clothing that is for men. Not none of this androgynous Target, Walmart, LGBT, Pride Month type stuff. They make real clothing for men, all right? Nice, regular pants. Yes, they're expensive, but hey, it is what it is. I guess the reason why they're expensive is because that's the price you pay if you want to pay for it, okay? If you want to steal, you can steal and get it for free, but if you're going to be the fool and pay for your pants, you got to pay the full $128 plus tax, okay? That's kind of what's going on. And I think what's happening here is not just Lululemon, but a bunch of other stores. Let me explain what's happening. Then we're going to get into maybe some updated video that I've not shown yet on my regular video. So about a month ago, I think I covered it on a live stream. I'm pretty sure I did, but I didn't do a video about it. About a month ago, there was I don't want to say smash and grab. There was nothing to smash. There was some clothes right there on the table, on the racks or whatever. And these rocket scientists from Atlanta decided to go and steal. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and play the first video of the actual the snatch and grab is what they're calling it. Okay, snatch and grab. Now, this is crazy. These names you're going to see are ridiculous, but you already pretty much know what these names are. Hold on. Okay, so these are the guys that stole this stuff, right? Big surprise. One of these guys' name is Quintavious Gooch. I'm not making that up. Quintavious Gooch. Look, listen to me now. Parents, please name your kids properly. Check it out. If I'm a hiring manager and across my desk comes Quintavious Gooch, I'm throwing the application in the garbage right away. Right away. Because already I know that your parents didn't even care. Your parents didn't care. So you are going to have a hard time fitting into our culture at work. I'm throwing your application in the garbage immediately. But so this is what happened about a month ago. This is the whole thing that started what's going on right now. So let's go back in time about 3 or 4 weeks ago to see what led up to right now and Lululemon doing what they did.
Atlanta men are under arrest after they allegedly snatched and grabbed thousands of dollars of items from Lululemon.
Quintavious, Teenyverse. Quintavious. Look at that right there. Quintavious Gooch. And that's spelled Quintavious. I am not lying.
In Peachtree City. As Fox 5's Doug Evans reports, shoppers gave police important information that led to the quick arrests.
At the Avenue Shopping Center in Peachtree.
Look at these guys, man. Look. Now, I'm no advocate for criminals. I'm not here to give criminals advice on how to be criminals, okay? But if you're going to be a criminal and you're trying to run away, you might not want to have your pants around your knees because I would presume that's going to impede your ability to be able to run. You see, the kind of pants I wear at Lululemon fit perfect on your waist. They're not tight. You got plenty of room in the upper leg region, okay? And you can move around free. I'm not going to be having my pants on the ground like that. So if you want to be a criminal, you want to be a snatch and grabber, do not wear your pants around the bottom of your hind parts or at your knees. That's not going to be very beneficial to you at all.
City Monday, a shopper snapped this photo of 3 suspected robbers leaving a Lululemon store with armloads of stolen merchandise.
And this guy right here has on slim fit jeans that are also sagging. How do you sag slim fit jeans? That makes no sense. It's kind of an oxymoron, okay? It's just they're tight and at the same time loose. I don't get it. And quiet is kept when you would show your hind parts in prison. That meant that you were available, but I don't want to get too graphic, so I digress.
This photo and one snapped of the getaway car helped police arrest the 4 men who'd be charged with the theft of $7,000 in Lululemon clothing.
We started receiving multiple phone calls from concerned citizens that saw 4 individuals with hoods and masks come running out the front of our Lululemon location with loaded down armfuls of merchandise, get into an SUV, and tear out of the parking lot.
Within minutes, a patrol officer pulled behind the red Subaru SUV, and although the suspects had changed the license plate after leaving the store, Peachtree City police say technology helped them identify this as the right car.
Now, Peachtree City is not in Atlanta. It's due south and west, but it's in the metro area, basically.
They say the driver made the mistake of pulling into a different shopping center where police blocked the exits and made the arrest. The 4 men are charged with felony shoplifting and also charges for that stolen license plate, as well as misdemeanor pot possession. Witnesses describe the men rushing into the Lululemon store in the Avenue Shopping Center and snatching up armloads of clothing from the racks and then running out. Under arrest is 19-year-old Quintavious Gooch.
I thought I was lying. I thought I was lying about that. Quintavious Gooch. That is his name. You can't make it up if you try it. Hold on. And there's more names. Let me just scoot this up a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okie dokie. So there we go. There we have it. Hold on.
26-year-old Nicholas Lynch, 20-year-old Braylon Shivers, and 19-year-old Bayo Allen. They're all from Atlanta. With multiple calls to 911 and the photos, police are hoping that with the public's help and the quick action of their officers, it'll send a message to snatch and grab thieves not to target Peachtree City.
You will not get away with it, and we have the court systems to support us as well to ensure that you're tied up in it for a long enough time to where you're not going to be committing these crimes in the future, at least in our area, for a long time.
Peachtree City police say the Lululemon corporate office told them that the same men wearing the same clothing were responsible for a similar snatch and grab robbery at another Metro Atlanta Lululemon just the night before.
Okay, let's rewind that one more time. Did you hear that? Let's go back a little bit. That's a key piece of information right there. Remember, this is the video that came out 1 month ago. This was April 26th of this year, 2023. So almost a little over 1 month on the day, a month and some change from then to now. Let's hear what he says again one more time.
I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News. And
hold on, can we rewind? Let's rewind.
Wearing the same clothing were responsible for. Peachtree City police say the Lululemon corporate office told them that the same men wearing the same clothing were responsible for a similar snatch and grab robbery at another Metro Atlanta Lululemon.
So the corporate office of Lululemon is helping the police, saying, hey, these are the same guys from a different situation. So Lululemon may have a policy about not calling the police and about not intervening with the shoplifting, but at the same time, they're cooperating. So, I mean, what's really going on? Is it about, F the police? Or is it about, we don't want to have the liability on our head, so you guys shouldn't interfere. You guys shouldn't even call the police. I don't really understand. Let's go to the more recent clip where the people who got those images, remember, hold on. Let's go back to the image, okay? Let's go back to the infamous image of the pants on the ground, right? Hold on. These geniuses right here. So it was the store employees who were able to get this image, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. So I think for A, calling the police, and B, getting this image, or A or B, that's why they got fired. But without the store employees doing this, then these guys probably wouldn't have got caught. And Lululemon's corporate office is cooperating with the police to help these guys go away and, really do some time for what they did. So that was, again, April 26th, about a month and some change ago. Now, here's the more recent thing that shows you a little bit more footage from the inside of the store. These are the same guys from the same day, okay? You see my man right here with this outfit? I mean, this is a stunning outfit. We got acid wash, blue denim, tight, stretchy pants that are also sagging, a flight jacket with a yellow mustard color hoodie. See that hoodie right there? This is the video from recently speaking about the women that got fired. So look at this outfit right here. Take a good look, mental image. Now let's go back. Let's go back to the other video. Okay. Now look to your left. The The genius on the far left, same outfit, the same color hoodie, the same jacket, the same acid wash jeans. See the little details on it? It's the same person. This is the same day. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to this year, and we're going to see the more recent video of the women getting fired.
No. Seriously. Get out.
Two Georgia women say they were fired from their jobs at Lululemon after calling police to report this robbery, which one of them caught on camera.
No, you can.
Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers describing to NBC affiliate 11 Alive Atlanta the horrifying moments the merchandise at the Peachtree Corner store was stolen.
They swiped until they couldn't hold any more product and ran out the door.
We didn't really feel very protected or know what else to do.
The women say they were fired from their jobs after they decided to call the police about the shoplifting, something they say they were told is against company policy.
So you see what's going on, right? You see the video. It starts inside, then it goes outside, and they also called the police. I think what really happened is they got fired for following, because that's considered to be intervening. Now, I'm not saying that's right. No, obviously. But I think that's the reason why they got fired. What the problem is, Lululemon is not really saying exactly what policy they violated. They say there was a policy violation, but they're not exactly laying out what happened. I think what happened is they followed the guys out the store, and that was the problem. Let's keep on going.
So what are they supposed to do instead?
You kind of clear a path for whatever they're going to do, and then after it's over, you scan a QR code.
Rogers, who says she's worked at the company for 5 years, claims that the store has been dealing with thefts for months, recalling another incident.
Someone sent me a picture of the front entrance table, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just sold all the product, good job. And they were like, no, someone just came in and stole everything.
Let's pause for a minute. Bina says Lulu makes an insurance claim for retail prices versus at cost prices. Is that true? Can you make a retail claim for your MSRP so you make a profit off of the insurance claim? Is that how that works? That can't be. And if it is, that's obviously being abused here, because they're not even trying to call the police. They're not even trying to stop the people or have any kind of security in there to stop this. If Walgreens can have security, why can't Lululemon? I don't understand. Especially when another store just got hit recently before this one. There's been a string of these snatch and grabs in the area. Why not hire security that would stop these guys from doing it? You see what I mean? Maybe it's more cost effective to just abuse the insurance. We'll get to insurance a little bit later.
But this was the first time she knows of someone at the store calling police, which local authorities confirm. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says 3 men have been charged with theft by shoplifting and theft by receiving stolen property from that incident. And they're currently in the Fayette County Jail. Videos of brazen shoplifting have gone viral.
Okay, now we're talking about other things. Let's go back to Lululemon.
On petty crime.
They don't want to, waste their time on what may be.
Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to go back because they're talking more about this incident. Let's go back.
On viral from stores across the country. And it's common practice for retailers to tell their employees not to intervene.
80% of retailers are experiencing violent incidents. One is to tell folks you should not be interfering or apprehending folks if you do not have the training.
And while
now I will say, it doesn't make any sense to intervene if you are just, you're 16 years old in high school behind the counter, ringing up clothes, and then you got 3 or 4 of these guys to come in trying to snatch and grab. What are you going to do to really stop it? I mean, you could get them on video. You could call the police. I mean, you should do that. Definitely call the police. But if they got fired for that, that's crazy. But trying to be Captain America, trying to be a superhero and jump in the way, you're not trying to die behind a pair of yoga pants. That's not really what you want to do. There should be a security guard right there whose job is to stop that from happening, not the little girl behind the counter to physically stop the guys from stealing. So I do agree with that part. But as far as calling the police, that shouldn't be a thing that's that is not allowed.
Punishment after calling the police for shoplifting might be head-scratching to some. Retail trade organizations say it might be more common than you think because some stores have relationships with law enforcement and don't want to waste resources on petty crime.
They don't want to, waste their time on what may be an entry-level shoplifting issue when they could be doing something else, because then they're not necessarily going to be as quick to respond the next time when they do need someone there.
Ferguson and Rogers say their actions led to their termination for vague reasoning.
They have a no tolerance policy.
They said because they have a zero tolerance policy.
We tried calling the store and reaching out to Lululemon's corporate offices and did not hear back. Both women now adjusting to their new lives.
So that's pretty much the video right there. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because of time's sake. But yeah, how do you guys feel about Lululemon firing these women because they called the police or because they intervened? And do you think it's because they intervened or because they called the police or both? I think it's because I don't want to say intervened because that's probably not really the right word. What they did was they videoed them on their phones and then followed them outside, which could have put them in danger. That's probably why they got fired. But Lululemon won't say that's why they got fired. They'll just say, oh, policy violation. I think I know why. Just calling the police shouldn't be a thing because, look, if you can't stop them, which I understand, there ain't no security guard, and if you can't call the police, then what is a deterrent from these guys coming in there stealing? They could just go take whatever they want. Like I said, yes, the pants are expensive. $128 for a pair of the commission pants for men. I don't know how much women's stuff costs. No, it's expensive too. You go in there, try to buy an outfit for your daughter or something, you're gonna be in debt right away. In debt. You going into your savings to pay for this stuff in there. It's expensive. I get it. But maybe the prices are high like that because they don't really care about theft. If you're dumb enough to go in there and buy it, you could pay the full amount. But you can steal, they're not going to intervene or call the police. There's no repercussion. What do? This could be kind of an insurance thing where they just don't really care and they go straight to the insurance and abuse that. But if I was an insurance company and I saw this video that I just watched, I'd be like, well, wait a minute. We're not here for that purpose. You guys need to have loss management. You cannot rely upon us to pay this out for you. We're not here for that. And if you want to use us for that purpose, we're going to raise the rates on you. That's the way it should be, because that's not, you're abusing the spirit of what insurance is supposed to be. Okay, you got to do things to stop theft, to stop loss. It's just like if you set your building on fire, like if you burn your own building down to get the insurance money, you go to jail for that. That's called fraud. And the same thing with this. If they just allow the shoplifting to happen and then they charge the insurance, isn't that called fraud? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Y'all let me know in the comments. All right. But yeah, there's a whole lot. Manic Pixie says when the employee dies in your service, it's a huge liability, much easier to claim insurance. Yeah, I mean, I understand, like I said, about the whole not getting in the way, because you're not trying to die over a pair of yoga pants, but you can't even call the police. If you can't do that or intervene, there's no deterrence. You will have guys that come in there every day and steal and never buy anything. You might as well just have a tip jar at the front rather than a actual cashier stand. It's like, hey, if you want to buy the pants, go ahead. If you don't, then that's fine too. They're all yours. That's totally crazy. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, my next thing, speaking about insurance, being on that same page, is you guys see that California will no longer accept property insurance applications. Hold on, I'm saying that wrong. State Farm will no longer accept property insurance applications from California. Did you guys see that? Now, the reason that the news media will cite is climate change, right? Hold on. They'll say, oh, climate change. There's so much happening. There's so many fires, so many floods and everything else, extreme weather. That's a new phrase they use. extreme weather events. The climate is changing so rapidly. There are many more extreme weather events compared to 2019 versus right now, 2023. They won't go back 10 years when there were even more quote unquote extreme weather events. But the game is a game. You got to push a narrative always. Push that narrative always. So they'll say the reason why they're not trying to accept any new property insurance applications from California because of the climate in California. But really it's because of California's policies. That's why. Let's get into it here. Let's check it out.
California is a climate battlefield. In half a decade, residents have weathered whiplash from the worst wildfire season on record through a 23-year mega drought to catastrophic flooding.
See, right. Within the first 10 seconds, they say climate, 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 droughts, floods, fires, all of that. Immediately into this news video from NBC, they talk about the climate, but that's not really the problem at all.
After this year's outbreak of rainstorms.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
But less so now. Effective today, State Farm is no longer accepting applications for business or personal property insurance policies, citing California's catastrophe exposure and spiking construction costs. The move doesn't impact current home policy holders or auto insurance.
With the 5 years of intense wildfires and losses that we've had, we pretty much lost all our underwriting profit that we had from the last 20 years.
Janet Ruiz with the Insurance Information Institute says part of the issue is California's Proposition 103.
That right there is a problem. Prop 103. Again, policy. Okay, California, everybody knows California has extreme weather. It's been going on. Earthquakes. That happened. That flattened San Fran back in the early 1900s. We know about the wildfires. It's been going on forever. We know about the floods because you have a lot of desert type places where it's no rain. So when it floods, when it rains, the water can't go anywhere. That's when the floods happen. You got mudslides, you got hill slips, you got all that stuff in California. Okay, you saw that house that was in Utah that just fell off the edge of the cliff. That happens often in California because of the way that the mountains are. The young mountains are always shifting and changing. That's just what it is in California. They've known that for a while. But Prop 103 is throwing a monkey wrench in the game that's preventing State Farm or anybody else really from being able to do their jobs properly.
Forcing insurance companies to require prior approval from the state's insurance department before implementing rates.
So California has their own insurance department, their own national. I'm not sure what I've never heard about that before. I've never heard about a state insurance department. Okay. So they have to, State Farm, a private company, has to go to California, meaning the government of California, before they can implement rate hikes. And if California says, no, you can't hike your rates up, then what are they to do? They know there's a higher risk for all these disasters. And you have people trying to build in more extreme areas, building up in the hills, developing land that probably shouldn't be developed. Okay. With that going on, it's going to be a higher risk for all these disasters, earthquake disaster, floods, fires, you name it. There's going to be a higher risk in these newly developed areas. And State Farm has to be able to increase their rates in these areas and in the state because of all the natural disasters. It's common sense. It's just like, okay, if you want to build a bunch of houses in Outer Banks, North Carolina, you're going to have a really high insurance rate if you can get insured at all. I would not even give you flood insurance in Outer Banks because it's going to flood. I'm going to show that a little bit later, actually, because that I kind of understand what's going on here in a pretty, in a pretty serious way.
Prop 103 has kept rates in California artificially low for admitted licensed carriers in the state. It needs to be modernized.
And it's not just California. Across the country, insurance companies are ditching disaster-vulnerable states like Texas, Louisiana, and Florida.
Where do you think you would be?
I mean, so there's more to that, but yeah, the problem is California's Prop 103. That's the issue that is keeping State Farm from being able to raise their rates. So it's like, if I can't raise my rates, what else can I do? How about we just leave? So basically, State Farm is leaving California as it relates to the property insurance game. They're leaving the whole state like everybody else, just like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, regular normies, corporations. They're leaving California and going elsewhere. That's just what's happening. All right. So there's no surprise there. Now, Outer Banks. I'm gonna just search Outer Banks house collapse because I know it's going to happen. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find one. Okay. Now, this is Outer Banks, North Carolina. Now, the Outer Banks, it's a very thin strip of islands. Matter of fact, hold on, it's map time. Let's see if I can find a map. Outer Banks, North Carolina map. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, and you're going to kind of understand what's going on. All right. So, matter of fact, that's perfect right here. Perfect map. Okay. So you guys can see this map right here. So I grew up obviously right here in this area, Virginia, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Newport News, Hampton. I grew up right there, right? Now, just to the south of me, you have the Outer Banks over here on the right-hand side of the screen. You see that road right there, Corolla, Duck, KDH, Cordova Hills, Nags Head, Kitty Hawk, Manio, all of that. These are the Outer Banks. It's a very thin strip of islands that are the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Is there a show on Netflix about Outer Banks? I've not seen it yet. I got to watch it because I want to see if they got it kind of accurate. I used to go there quite a bit when I was a youngin'. But they built houses on these islands or like this little strip of island knowing that it's going to flood. You're right there basically on the water. You have no protection. There's always erosion. That road always gets washed out. If a hurricane hits, even the Cat 1, forget about it. Not even the hurricane, a strong rainstorm, it's over with. These houses are not really that safe. Now, some parts, it might be, Kitty Hawk might be a little bit okay, but Corolla, Duck, all that, Cordova Hills, forget about it. You might as well come on inland, like East City, somewhere up under here, rather than being over there, because you're not going to be, you might as well stay out the beach, Virginia Beach. It's better because you have more land to deal with and you have the ocean front. But to be just right here on the island with no land, it's just a strip of islands, it's always going to be a problem. So if you were to build a house right there, why would they insure you for floods? It's going to flood. Your house is going to collapse, or it might collapse. The road is going to wash out. You're not going to be able to get to where you want to get to. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Now, yeah, exactly. The whole point of the area is to protect the sounds that are behind it. Yeah, it's barrier islands, basically. You really shouldn't be out there living, but people do it all the time. Some of the houses stay up for a while, but a lot of them don't, and that's just what it is. Oh, and here's another map where it gets really crazy. You go out to like Ocracoke and all that, Hatteras and Avon. Like when you go down here, when you come down this way, I mean, you're really asking for it. Kitty Hawk is a little bit better because you got a little bit of land up there, but down here, man, please, that road always gets washed out. Hatteras Island, man, forget about it. You can't even really get to it by a car. So let me just show you what happens on these islands all the time.
748.
So here's a house that's getting ready to collapse. And these houses are very expensive. Okay. Years ago, $400,000 on the low end. Now I'm sure it's more than that. At least $350,000 to $400,000 on this little strip of barrier, a coral reef, basically.
24235 Ocean Drive collapsed about 3 a.m. last night.
Yeah, some parts of the Outer Banks are okay. Like some parts are all right. Like I think there's a lot of celebrities that have houses out there. I think Bill Gates is one of them. He has a house out Outer Banks, but some of these places, they're like, look at where the house is though. Look at where it is. I mean, come on, that was going to collapse already. And then the houses, once you get into certain parts of Outer Banks, they're built on stilts because they know it's going to be water that hits it. So, I mean, what do? Oh, yeah, I'm not saying don't build right there, Brian. Yeah, if you want to build right there and you want to rebuild every year, then go for it. But you shouldn't be getting insurance out there. If I was an insurance company, I would not give you no flood insurance if you live right here. It's like, are you dumb? You're basically building your house in the water. Look, see these houses? Like some of these are like multiplexes, not necessarily. And you see like they're built on the stilts, of course. Like they're all like on the stilts. That's just kind of how it is.
Stand at position on Ocean Drive.
Yeah, so nah. See the stilts, of course. Yeah, like you don't want to live on this bottom floor right here, obviously, because you're gonna have the water to come in. And this right here, like it's about to fall right now. it might fall. The house behind it is pretty much done, so that might be next. So that's Rodanthe, which let me see if I can find that right quick. Hold on, give me a second. Rodanthe, I think that's a little bit further up or down. Yeah, that's further down. So Rodanthe, that's over there. Yeah, in between Nags Head and Buxton. So let me see if I got the other map. Yeah, so Rodanthe's like right there where that red dot is. So why would you put a house out there? If you want to go Kildover Hills, you got a little bit more land right there. Maybe even Corolla. Like further up is a little bit better, but down here, forget about it. So yeah, nah, I'm on the side of State Farm and other insurance companies that are not going to sell you a policy or going to give you very high rates if you want to live in the place where it's really prone to these disasters. If you want to live right on the water and there's always a hurricane, you're going to pay more. If you want to live in a place that always has earthquakes, you're going to pay more. If you want to live in a place that's like a tornado alley, there's always a tornado every year, you're going to pay more. And personally, I don't understand why people always rebuild in the exact same spot where there's always natural disaster. Or we're going to rebuild. Okay, I understand the emotion behind it. But if my house gets hit with a tornado every year or with a hurricane every year or it floods every year, at a certain point, I might want to move, maybe. Just maybe. Okay, I mean, it's not even about, you can't fight Mother Nature because it's like the argument some have when they say they want to stay in their state, like California, for example. California is not doing very well when it comes to the politics. People are fleeing California, and some say, you know what, I'm going to stay. I'm going to fight for my state. I'm going to get involved in politics, and I'm going to make some change. But you can't get involved with Mother Nature to make it not rain anymore. But you're going to do a rain dance. You're going to do an anti-hurricane dance. That ain't really going to make a difference at all. So, yeah, shout out to the insurance companies for being able to do the right thing. California does not want that to happen. They want you to pretty much just be on your own. So it is what it is. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Exactly 10 verse. 3 strikes, you're out. That is correct. The bill's not been voted on yet. Well, if it hasn't been voted on and there's still the agency in California that controls the insurance rates, they still got to do with the agency in lieu of the bill being signed. So maybe the bill is what they're kind of referencing to prevent them from being able to raise their rates, although it's not been voted on yet. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of how it works sometimes. Because ultimately, if you have a state agency that can control the insurance rates, it doesn't really matter what laws are on the books. They're going to say, no, we're not going to have that happen because we anticipate this bill being signed into law. We think we're going to go this direction. Yeah, they'll do things because a bill is out there that they may sign. That's how it happens. Exactly, Joan. Wildfires, blizzards, floods, sandstorms. Earth is a rough place. It is. It most certainly is. Oh, the debt ceiling bill. Thank you, 007 girl. Okay, I'm tripping. The debt ceiling, and to speak about that right quick, I'm glad you brought it up. To speak about a debt ceiling right quick, I mean, it's always like this. They always talk about, it's so weird. They always have an excuse. Oh, well, we're here in the 0 hour because of X, Y, and Z. They know when it's going to happen every single time. They know what they got to do every single time. It's always this thing where they have to, figure out something at the last minute when they have known about it for forever. It's never a surprise when it comes about. They always do this. It's always the same thing over and over again. So at a certain point, it's just kind of getting on my nerves. It really does. And they're talking about default, but they're not going to default. They're going to strike a deal, and it'll be done at the 0 hour. And it's all just kind of like political grandstanding. The left, they want to just be able to tax and spend. Same old stuff, same old dog and pony show in Washington, D.C. Never anything different. Same old thing. Exactly, NKM, you read my mind. Debt ceiling dog and pony show. It's always the same thing. It's never really something that's really that serious. They're just trying to make it appear that way. I stopped kind of following it, really. Hey, whenever they sign it with me up, if they don't sign it and they default, oh well, it ain't going to really change too much. When they sign it, wake me up. I was watching the news and they said if they don't sign it, it may change things a little bit. Like they said, okay, if we default, your mortgage rate to go up a little bit. So if you want to get a new, not your existing mortgage, but if you want to get a new mortgage, it'll go up a little bit by like a point or two. It'll go up for a new mortgage. Again, not your existing mortgage, but a new mortgage. I'm like, okay, is that it? I mean, that's kind of a lot, but I'm thinking like it'd be a complete disaster. We're not going to be able to eat anymore. The way they're talking about it is like if we defaulted, it'd be the end of the world. But again, we're not going to default. And if we do, they'll fix it in a day or two. I don't really have any kind of bad feelings about what's going on, to be totally 100% honest. All right. Oh, and I got this map right here. So go back to the map right quick since it's still in front of me. That tunnel right there. You see that tunnel right there? Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel going from Virginia Beach to Eastern Shore, Virginia. That right there is a scary, scary tunnel. Oh boy. 20 miles long over basically the Atlantic Ocean. Basically, it kind of blocks off the Atlantic Ocean. It's like a border between Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. And first of all, if you don't know about the wind on the ocean front, it's crazy. Once you get out over open water, the wind is absolutely out of this world. Okay, it's crazy. I saw an 18-wheeler with a trailer get blown over on many times. And sometimes it's so windy they close it down. You can't even go across the tunnel. And then once you get toward, I think there's 2 tunnels on this bridge, if I'm not mistaken. Once you get toward the home stretch, once you get to be toward Eastern Shore, water begins splashing over top of the bridge. So you're driving and you get the ocean water. Psh. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a little bit too much. Okay. Are we going to sink? Like, what's really going on? But yeah, that bridge right there. Nah, I'm going to go ahead and go 64 through, Northern Neck, Peninsula, all of that through Richmond, and then 95 to DC. That way right there is scary. Or I might come this way through like Tappahannock and all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to go that way. Very scary, but I digress. But Eastern Shore, much more hospitable. Nothing like Outer Banks, North Carolina. None at all. Not in the least bit. So yeah, shout out Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. I'm cool. I would go M&M, JRB, or HRBT. I'm not trying to go over the bay. I'm cool. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. Oh yeah, I know about Tanger, Boomhauer, absolutely. They got those really old accents. Yeah, Tanger is up like in between Eastern Shore, Virginia, and Maryland, really, because Eastern Shore is like Virginia and Maryland. It's like a little divider. But then in between that and then Virginia, like Northern Neck, all of that, is a little island called Tanger Island. It's a Fisher Island. And these are some of the first white guys that ever came to the United States. And they stayed on that island for forever. So their accent is like what it might have been back in the 1700s. For real talk. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's play that right quick since you brought it up. Then we're going to move on to some more topics. Yeah. And I hear these guys all the time. I hear them sometimes. I already know you from Tanger in that particular area. Hold on one second.
Accent may be spoken by only a few hundred people. You can hear some of the most unusual variety. Speech heard in some of these places may sound very old-fashioned to outsiders.
I can hear him in your Saturday night. Right. They kid drove us by him out. Your accent, I had to get out of him. Mom's been calling and cussing at me all day. She was behind the counter. She said, "It's a lie, Jack." I said, "Who's that, Mom?"
The first permanent settlement, white settlement on the island was in
So you hear those accents? That's Virginia. This might have been the 90s, maybe. But you can still hear these guys speak that way right now today, 2023. It's a very small island. A lot of these guys then left. They went to Eastern Shore, to like Salisbury, Maryland, over there. Maybe they went to Virginia. But some of those guys still exist on that island, and they talk like that. A lot of the old timers still speak that way, for sure.
1686. There's been people living here ever since. And there are about all of us that were born here on this island. We can say that our parents were born here, and our grandparents, and our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents, and right on down.
What amazes me is that I can be most anywhere. I can be in the mall in Salisbury, Maryland, for example.
Yep, Salisbury.
And I can hear Tan German talking in the crowd, and I can immediately tell, hey, they're from home, you know.
You know what's funny is that they're not even hillbillies because they're from an island. So I'm not sure what the term would be for these country guys that come from a literal island in the middle of the water. I don't know.
Like Claude and them said, you could follow the crabs right on down. Now they don't do that no more. I think they get on top of the water and swim when they get ready to load. Swim over top the pots instead of in them. Pots there where they're at.
So yeah, that's the Tanger accent right there. Shout out to my man Boomhauer for that one. Yeah, I've heard that accent quite a bit. Going up Eastern Shore, like going Maryland over that way. Like if you go Northern Neck, like kind of the little country back areas, you hear it for sure. All right. But if you like what you hear so far, you know the deal. Give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I know, Julio, sometimes you want to hear what you want to hear, but it's not always that way. You can't always get what you want in life, man. That's how life is, you know. It's okay though. But we'll keep on moving, keep on rocking and rolling. Where do I want to go next? I think I want to go to not Lululemon. We already covered Lululemon. I want to go to the airplane exit door. Did you guys see the airplane exit door video? Oh my goodness. Like the thing that really killed me was they said the guy was tinkering. Oh, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So this was in South Korea. It was totally in South Korea. There was a flight from one part of the country to another. It was an hour flight from one part to the other in one country. And they said the guy was tinkering with the door, which was totally ridiculous. Let me see if I can pull that up right quick. My man, hold on. I have the full video here. Now, the door, so let me just explain what happened. So this man opened the exit door about 700 feet above ground. Now, obviously, that's not as high as it could be. 700 feet above ground, you're about to land. Okay, you're in a landing process. Your cruising altitude is about 31,000, 35,000, 40,000 feet. You cannot open the door that high. It will not open because of the capping pressure. It's not going to open. So even if a man was, quote unquote, tinkering with the door, it's not going to open at that height. But once you get to lower elevation, like when you're about to land, you can open it because the whole purpose is to be able to open it in the case of an exit emergency, meaning you can't really go through the front or whatever it is. You want to be able to open that door and get out that way once you're on the ground. So you can open it close to the ground. However, several hundred feet is very high. That is as high as a skyscraper. Hold on one second. The Empire State Building is, let me see if I can find it. Empire State Building height is 1,200 feet. So, okay. And to the very tip, to the needle, it's about 1,400 square feet. So about half of the Empire State Building is pretty high. If you jump from the middle of the Empire State Building, you still gonna die. So 700 feet in the air, sir. If I catch you at that door tinkering, I'm going to stomp you into wine. I don't care. Okay, sir, stop tinkering with the door, please. If I see you doing that, man, look, it's murder she wrote. The moment I see you do that, it's night. Now, I was reading comments. People said that it was probably the guy that's like right next to the door, sitting down, that did it. If I'm your neighbor, first of all, I got my eyes on everything that's going on all the time. If I'm your neighbor and I see you doing that, I'm snatching you up instantly, right away. I ain't wasting no time because, look, I ain't no big tough guy. I'm not nothing like that, but I'm not trying to get, I'm not trying to die on this airplane. The door not going to open and something you out with it. I'm cool. So here is the result of the tinkering, and RIP to the headphone user. Sorry about the loud noise. Let's get a little bit of, there we go. The door at this point is open and they're still in the air. They're landing, but they're still in the air. Man. And what are you really going to do at that point? You can't get up. You got to just sit right there, seatbelt on, and hope you don't slip out of the seatbelt, and then you're on the ground. Again, 700 feet in the air is the middle of the Empire State Building. If you jump from that, you die instantly, right away. If you jump from 15 feet, you're going to break a lot of bones. Yeah, that's a nice breeze, all right. That's a little bit too nice for me. So let me go to the actual video of the news report where they were talking about it. Hold on, matter of fact, I have the news report, but I also have the moment afterward.
Yeah, conjuring.
Let me get to this right quick. So they got the guy arrested. Again, we're in South Korea with this story, and they say police detained the passenger on the Asiana Airlines flight who opened the door on the plane minutes before it landed in Daegu, South Korea. They said he was mentally struggling. I bet he was mentally struggling and could not be questioned. Shit. He can be questioned. Now, is he going to answer? Hey, man, that's not my concern. But we're going to question you one way or the other. We're going to get some questions asked. If you can't answer them, then it's not my fault.
그래 문을 써가지고 해야 돼. 이리 가까이 와. 됐어. 고개 들어보세요. 일단 한마디만 해주세요. 문을 왜 하셨어요? 아이고 씨. 자, 선생님 앉아보세요.
Hey, we need some of that good old-fashioned South Korean police brutality. Okay, get some of that kung fu going on. Get all that happening in that back room back there for sure. So where's he at? So that's him right there with the mask over his face. And they're censoring him.
선생님 문 왜 여셨어요? 한마디만 해주세요.
문 왜 여셨을까요?
선생님.
The reporters are crazy. The reporters are putting the microphone all in between the leg regions and the midsections, trying to get some kind of questions asked.
뭐가 그렇게 억울하세요?
So yeah, that's what's going on. Are Hyundais Korean cars? I think they are. I was like, why they got a Hyundai? But I forgot. Okay, we're in Korea. I think that's a Korean-made vehicle. So yeah, get him in that Hyundai minivan off to the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. Was he Chinese? I'm not sure if he was Chinese or not. All I know is that it was in Korea. All right, but it was somewhere. Okay, Taekwondo in Korea. See, look, I'm talking about Kung Fu. I'm being racist. Shout out to me. That's not right. But yeah, martial arts. How about that? So let's go back to this video right here. To the NBC News clip.
Mid-flight. It allegedly happened today over South Korea, and the scene was captured on video by terrified passengers bracing for the worst. Steve Patterson tonight, he has the video and this story.
They chopped his head off. Is that what they did? That's hilarious if they did that. That's funny.
Story for us.
Tonight, the heart-pounding seconds in the skies above South Korea. Passengers white-knuckling through a wind-whipped Asiana Airlines flight moments after a man allegedly ripped open the plane's emergency door minutes before landing.
It is recklessly endangering all the other passengers.
Hold on. So I want to kind of get to some more here.
The doors on most planes, so it wouldn't open even if someone tried. But just before landing, that pressure is gone and doors are able to be opened. An Asiana Airlines representative telling NBC News the plane landed safely following the incident and that 9 passengers were taken to the hospital for minor breathing issues. The man who opened the door, detained by police. The scare in Korea conjuring a rash of other airborne incidents in the U.S., spurred by unruly passengers. Earlier this year, a Delta passenger...
Hold on, I might miss the most important part. I think I missed it. Yeah. Because they're talking about the tinkering. Hold on, I want to see that part.
Officials say the plane carrying 194 passengers was about 700 feet above the ground when a man in his 30s, seated in the exit row, was allegedly tinkering with the handle.
Tinkering with the handle? Ain't no way. Listen, they really said that. Like, what does that really mean? You doing like all this jazz right here, just trying to touch at it and poke at it? Look, man. Look. You're not going to do all that with the handle, okay? Keep your hands to yourself. And if you can't do it, well, hey, man, we're going to do something else to you. Ain't going to be no tinkering going on. We could do some tackling, some tussling, some wrestling, but it ain't going to be no tinkering going on the airplane with the door. Are you dumb? Like, well, yes, he is dumb, obviously, mentally challenged. But there was some other incidents that happened on different flights.
Delta passenger was arrested at LAX after opening the emergency door and sliding off the plane before takeoff. Tonight, another scare in the sky with passengers grateful to be back on solid ground. Are able to be open. The man who opened incidents in the U.S. spurred by
Look at my man right here taped to the chair. See, that right there should have been an incident. That should have been how the whole thing played out on that flight in South Korea. My man right here innocent with the tape on, yelling and screaming, carrying on. Yeah, that should be the result. And that's a good result. Because like I said, if I see that, man, you going night-night right away. You going night-night. I don't care. So, yeah, shout out to everybody for being okay. Some had minor breathing issues, but it wasn't really a big problem. Shout out to all of them for surviving. And like I said, 700 feet is not as high as it could be. Obviously, in the airplane, you're up 30,000 feet or more. As far as your cruising altitude, 700 feet is not that high, but it's still as high as half of the Empire State Building. That's very high off the ground. If you fall from that height, you're going to die right away. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okie dokie. So where do we go next? Where shall we go next? I kind of want to get to Trump and Kayleigh McEnany. Do you guys see what's going on with Kayleigh McEnany and Trump? Now, okay, so here's what happened. Let's pull up the Truth Social post from Trump. And let's be clear with a few things. First, if Trump became a nominee, I'd still vote for him. But I talk to people from all over the place, all over the world, all over the country. And people are telling me, hey, man, look, I like Trump. I like what he did, but he's just doing too much for me. I don't want to vote for him. I want DeSantis. And if you can't get them to go out there and vote in 2024, if you can't get the independents who vote either way, because let's be clear, a lot of us are going to vote red regardless of what. Doesn't really matter. We're going to vote red. We might not like who they have, but we're going to vote red regardless. And a lot of us like Trump, and we're going to vote Trump regardless of what. That's clear. That's understood. The problem is getting those in the middle. You have to appeal to them, because when you're talking about swing states that could go either way, your Wisconsin and places like that. Look, to get those places, you got to be able to appeal to those in the middle. If you don't, you're going to lose. You got your base. They rallying behind you. Trump, Trump, Trump. But those who don't really care about Trump or Biden and can be convinced either way, you're going to lose them if you can't just do things that attract them. They're either not going to vote for you by staying home, or they'll vote for somebody else. And you don't want that when you're trying to win an election. You know, I don't really care about nothing else other than winning. If I'm told, and if I see that Trump can't win, then I'm not voting for Trump. Although I want to vote for Trump. If he can't win, then what's the purpose? It doesn't even really make a difference how much I like him. Is he going to win? Now, let's go to what he said on Truth Social. Here's what he put out. He says, Kayleigh Milk Toast, and you don't spell it that way. It's Milque, not MILK like the drink. Anyway, Kayleigh Milk Toast McEnany just gave out the wrong poll numbers on Fox News. I am 34 points up on DeSanctimonious, speaking about Ron DeSantis, not 25 points. While 25 is great, it is not 34. She knew the number was corrected upwards by the group that did the poll. The rhinos and globalists can have her. Fox News should only use real stars. Now, I don't understand this. I don't get it. This could have been the phone call. If you got a problem with the numbers, the poll numbers, just call her on the phone. I know you got a number. Call her on the phone and be like, hey, what's up with that or whatever. It probably was a misunderstanding, because check it out. Here's what I read. Now, I read that Kayleigh was just trying to illustrate how the numbers have been changing a lot, because with polls, sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. She was talking about how the numbers have been changing, and how when the team of the opponent, DeSantis, when they see the poll numbers, they're going to say, oh, now we're up 9 points compared to the previous poll in Iowa. That was the whole thing. So they were saying the same thing, speaking about Trump and Kayleigh McEnany, but he got confused and decided to attack her rather than just calling her. You see, if you got a question, comment, concern, just talk to the person that you know. Call them on the phone, ask a question, and you might just get it cleared up. But what does he do? Straight social media and attacks her. Now Sadie says, well, that could be a thing that we don't know. Well, if that's the case, then just say that. Why say this? Because if people are just looking at you and what you're doing, and you say that, all they're going to say is, that's petty, that's corny, just call her on the phone. Ain't nobody going to try to figure out any kind of deeper meaning. All they're going to see is what you say. If you want to say something else, then go ahead and say it. Don't be trying to, say what you got to say and have that be that. So hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find that particular piece of it. And the thing about Kayleigh, she's one of his most loyal people ever. I never heard her say anything negative about Trump. Never heard anything weird. Never know. It was always positive. Always positive. Never anything negative. No Omarosa type weirdness going on. Never, ever, ever. No snitching. No telling. None of that. Always had his back through everything. And then as a press secretary, was battling demons up there on the podium. Battling demons every day. So why would you throw her under the bus? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And the poll wasn't even the bad poll. The poll still said that he was up 25 points, but it wasn't as many as he thought it should be. So you want to attack her? Look, check it out. Now, okay, I saw that video. Rebel Without a Reason says, she said some terrible things about Trump in 2015. So in 2015, she said some things about Trump that were unfavorable, some bad things about Trump. But in 2015, this is before she became the press secretary. So check it out. If she said bad things on TV now, on mainstream media where Trump's going to watch, if she said bad things in 2015 and he hired her later, what does that mean? All it can mean is one or two things, basically. The first thing it means is he doesn't really care about that. They spoke about it. They're able to get beyond it. And she changed her mind, like a lot of you guys changed your mind. I get people to call me all the time and say, you know what? I hated Trump in 2020, and now I like Trump. So she can't be the same way. She can't have things to say about him that are bad in 2015 and then change her mind later, then become the White House press secretary. Now, either she changed her mind or Trump is a bad judge of character. So either way, it doesn't really help your cause to say that she said bad things about him in 2015. I hate when people say that. 8 years ago, really? Is that what we're going to do for right now in 2023? And these things were said before she became the White House press secretary. She became the press secretary after she said those things on TV. And she did a very good job and has been a loyal person to Trump throughout the entire time. So why would you bring up old stuff like that? I don't understand. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I want to get to things that make sense and things that are logical going forward. I don't want to put it in my mind if it don't make no sense. Okay. Now I'm reading some of the comments here. Yeah. She was at CNN and Tucker was too. Tucker was at CNN and MSNBC. So what? And Tucker was the best anchor that Fox ever had. Well, I don't want to say ever, but he's the best anchor they had recently. Up there with the Bill O'Reillys of the world and everybody else. Tucker was Fox News' best person, the best anchor on air. And pretty much everybody here loves Tucker. But he was on CNN and MSNBC. Right with Rachel Maddow. Yes, he was. Sure was. People change, though. That's okay. Why bring up things somebody did 10 years ago and say, oh, that's still them right now? I don't really get it. Trump was a liberal Democrat for a long time. He was hanging out with your Chuck Schumers, Nancy Pelosi's, all these people in New York City, at Mar-a-Lago, at Trump Tower. But now he's different, and we accept it. So why can't it be the same with Kayleigh McEnany? I don't understand. It's weird. You know? A lot of guys change. Barack Obama was the guy that said no to gay marriage and then did a complete 180 and said yes to gay marriage. People change. They change their opinions. They change their viewpoints. You hate Tucker and Fox? Why do you hate Tucker? What did Tucker ever do to you? Tucker's gone now from Fox, which is completely not even the point. The point is that most of us here love Tucker. That's the point. It doesn't matter if he's not on Fox anymore. Now, the thing about it is, okay, Kayleigh, where is she going to work? She's not in the White House anymore, obviously. Where is she going to work? You wanted to be in D.C. as a permanent member of the swamp? If she's going to be on news, where is she going to be? Jen Psaki is now on MSNBC or somewhere like that. So where is Kayleigh going to go? What, Newsmax to get paid minimum wage? OAN, same thing? What's she going to do? Should she just not work? I don't understand. It's weird. Let me see. I'm reading some of this here. Trump was a Democrat. Exactly. He was a Democrat. It is what it is. Kayleigh changed. But the whole point is, it doesn't matter. There's no purpose in saying that. People that are on the fence are not moved. Guys that are going to support Trump, like, I don't think anybody in here defending Trump would have been changed by this at all. Meaning, if you're defending Trump right now from what he said, you weren't going to be affected by what he said about Kayleigh McEnany at all. The problem is not you guys. The problem is the independents, those that are in the middle, who could go one way or the other. They're going to be changed by this. Yes, they are. I'm getting DMs, emails. I don't like that, man. I don't like that. You know, I voted for them. I'm not doing it again. They are the ones that are going to be affected. And if you're in a battleground state, that's going to be a problem. So the Democrats kind of count on this because they think they could just run Joe Biden from the basement again and win again. And then those who don't want to accept the results are going to talk about election interference, which is the same thing the Democrats did with the whole Russia thing. Oh, the Russians interfered with the election. It was stolen because Russians interfered. It's the same thing with us over on our side because the elections are statewide. Ain't no federal election. You vote for federal employees, basically, federal nominations, federal positions locally, but there's no federal election. There's not just one election. It's a state-run thing and or a city or a town or a county-run thing. So if you're worried about election fraud, election interference, take it up with your local area. Okay, your local area has the ability to have different machines, different people that observe. It's a state thing. And quite frankly, where a lot of the fraud and whatnot could go on, it's not MAGA country. California, Illinois, New York. Those states are not going to go Trump anyway. You're talking about Florida, deep red, Georgia, deep red. And you know what? I'm going to tell you an example of what's going on that you may not really see. But I see it from my point of view because I talk to everybody. I know these guys. I'll talk to them. Let's go to Georgia, 2022. Oh, it's a fraud, ABL. People will say it was a fraud because Herschel Walker lost. But meanwhile, Brian Kemp stomped Stacey Abrams worse than he did the first time where they run against each other. So how is it that Brian Kemp curb stomped Stacey Abrams? Like curb stomps, but not Herschel Walker against Raphael Warnock. Are we going to pull the race card? I think not, because Herschel Walker is black and Warnock is too. But there was a big campaign ran against Herschel Walker on Georgia radio. I live right here by Georgia. I heard some of the ads as well, and I saw him on television about him being a moron, all these illegitimate kids everywhere, and being tied to Trump didn't really help him at all, unfortunately. So all those things together made him an unviable candidate, and he lost. It was not election interference. Now, Brian Kemp, on the other hand, did not get the Trump endorsement, but he won in a higher margin than he did the first time. So how do we explain that? You see the same pattern all over the country. It's not the election fraud that's happening when you're talking about red places, because we have tighter voting laws. We got voter ID. We have paper ballots. Like in Tennessee, paper ballots, voter ID, all that. You could do that in your state. All you got to do is vote for it. All you got to do is have your people do it locally. So there shouldn't even be a question about election interference or election fraud or it being stolen when it's a state issue, right? You don't hear that in Tennessee. Why? Because we don't have those problems. If you do, that's your problem, not a national problem. Now, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Atlanta going GOP? Well, Atlanta is not Georgia. It is, but it's not. Atlanta is an anomaly. Georgia is a deep red state. Very, very deep red. Atlanta is this blue place with a bunch of outsiders in the middle of Georgia. You can get beyond Atlanta with the rest of Georgia. That's just the reality. All right. And Georgia is actually, Atlanta is very small. Atlanta is a small city, 500,000. The outskirts make it bigger. The metro area makes it, it's like 4.5 or more, 5.5, 6.5 million in the metro. And the metro is kind of purpley. The center of Atlanta is the blue part. So it's not a national problem because we don't have it here in Tennessee. So if it's a national problem, why is it not here? It's only when people lose, they want to blame it on that, but it ain't that. It's simple. All right. But if I'm wrong, gotta let me know. I love to be proven wrong. Y'all let me know if there's a national election. Ain't no national election. It's a state election. It's a city or your county. That is your election. That's your jurisdiction. It's not a federal thing. Ain't no federal. They try to do that. They're trying to make it be a federal thing on the Democratic side. Then they'd be able to cheat. But that's not what we have right now today. They want it to be federal. They say, oh, it should just be one day and standardized. Make it be a state thing so it gets control on the state level. Your state government, your senators, your mayors, your county mayors, your governors, they control it, not the federales. Simple. Kemp is, I don't know about being more popular than Trump, but Kemp won in Georgia and curb stomped Stacey Abrams despite not getting the Trump endorsement, despite any kind of election interference nonsense, despite Herschel Walker losing. He's more popular than Herschel Walker in Georgia. So it is what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Has he covered Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Spittlenick? I have no idea what's going on with that. Exactly, Laura G. People don't understand that everything is federal. Most things that you do with on an everyday basis it's local. It's a local matter. It's not federal. People just vote for Trump and think that's going to solve all their problems, but it's not. You got to look at your local elections. Okay, who's your mayor? Who's your county mayor? Who's your treasurer? Who are your state reps? Your U.S. House reps? Who are these people? Do you know them? Did you vote for them? That's what matters. Your federal election should be less important. Should be less important, in my opinion. Yeah, I would not want to have voting done online. I want to vote in person for sure. I don't even want to vote absentee. I want to vote in person. I want to have it right there so I know that I cast it and there's no problems. All right. Let me see. Carolyn says, can't say why he's publicly calling her out. I don't know what Trump knows. It keeps people talking. Now that days have gone by. I mean, that's that any pub is good pub. I don't really buy into that. People that are kind of on the fence about Trump are not going to be swayed with this. That's not going to help them. People that like Trump are not going to be swayed by anything that he does or doesn't do. Nothing. Doesn't matter. Same thing with your Biden voters. Biden can ruin the country. It doesn't matter. They're still going to vote how they're going to vote. Even me. If Trump gets a nomination, I'm gonna vote for him regardless because I know he's better than the other people that could be in there. I'd rather have Trump than Joe Biden, so I'm going to vote Trump regardless of what. Regardless of what, it doesn't matter. But other people don't feel the same way I feel, and I'm looking at what's going on in the entire country. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Let's see. I'm reading some more here. Ron wants to bring back abortion. Is that right? I don't know about that one. I didn't see that. Like, give me some evidence on that one. All right, my thing is this. If Trump keeps on alienating the people that are in the middle, he's going to lose again. And it's going to be something, you'll be able to see it happen. In them swing states, he'll lose. He'll win very big in the states where he has a really big base, but he'll lose in the most important races. It happened also in 2022, if you didn't catch it. That should have been the red wave, and it wasn't because of some things that happened. A lot of the Trump endorsements, people just are sour. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You're going to have those that vote Biden, those that vote Trump, and those in the middle. If those in the middle are convinced that Trump ain't the guy, he's not really on point, they're not going to show up, or they're going to vote a different way. All right. Let's keep on rocking here. We got more to talk about. But yeah, Kayleigh McEnany, definitely one of the most loyal Trump people that he ever hired. One of his best hires ever. And he's had some hires that have kind of been questionable. Your Omarosas of the world, people that want to tell on him and snitch and use him, all this and that. Bad people. I've seen these people. They're leeches. And even those that are not necessarily in the administration, but those he had around him, Jared, huh? Nepotism, your son-in-law. Oh, I got a high-ranked J beside me. Okay, Jared. Kayleigh McEnany was a great hire by Trump, his best, and he threw her under the bus. Throw Jared under the bus, but I digress. All right. Now, shout out to my next story here. Can we get to Travis Rudolph? No, not yet. Travis Rudolph. Now, if you guys seen that, Travis Rudolph was an NFL player, former NFL player, and he got caught up. He got himself caught up. What happened was, he was dating a young lady, or they're kind of like hanging around, just kicking it, right? Just kicking it, going to the house, doing little stuff, right? Now, she goes in his phone and sees that he is dealing with other women, apparently, allegedly. That's what happened. There's other girls on the phone. She gets mad and initiates physical contact. She's hitting him. He's not really hitting her back. He's just trying to defend himself in the video that I saw from the Ring camera or whatever that was. Now, allegedly, she calls her brother talking about, or she texts her brother and is basically saying, come beat him up, come shoot him up, or whatever. So the brother, the moron, comes with 3 of his homies to the house. Now, let's just pause here. If anybody comes to my house that I don't know, first of all, I'm looking outside to see who it is. If I got a Ring camera, okay, it's on my phone. I can look on my phone and see what's going on. If I see 4 guys, one guy has a shirt off. First of all, if you come to my house with your shirt off, and you a young dude, young black dude especially, I'm not coming to the door at all. I might peek through the Ring cam like, yo, what's going on? What y'all want? What's happening? I'm not coming outside. I'm getting my gun and I'm getting prepared for you to try to break in because I already know what's going on. I know you're not here to just hang out and have a beer and watch a football game. I don't know y'all. Your shirt's off. Y'all 18 years old, dreadheads. No, sir. No. I'm getting my gun and I'm getting ready. I'm getting behind the couch or I'm getting ready. I might talk to you through the Ring cam. What y'all want? Oh, where's Travis at? Hey, who are y'all? I'm asking questions. Who are y'all? And if I can tell within the first few seconds that this ain't really right, like, yo, y'all got to roll out. Don't do it to yourself. We ain't here. Just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and leave because the police are going to come. It's going to be all bad. Y'all go ahead and roll out. And if they don't roll out, and I'm hearing the boots on my door, the police boot, the battering ram, I'm locked and loaded. I got magazines. I got a rifle at this point. 30-round magazines ready, loaded. I'm prepared. The red dot will be on your forehead. The red dot will be on your forehead immediately. Don't do it. Listen, if I'm hearing the boot on my door and the door becomes breached, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. And I warned you, hey, y'all back off, man. Look, I don't want no trouble. I don't want no problem. Y'all go ahead and leave, man. This ain't what you want. No, man, we ain't leaving. Where's Travis? And they beating the door down? Nope. Now, if you do that and I do what I do, I'm totally in the right. I'm going to let it go until the threat's over with. If they run away or whatever's going on, then I stop. If they fall on the ground, they die, then I stop. I gave you a warning. I said, leave me alone. I said, go about your business. You broke in my house. I'm letting it go. That is castle doctrine all day long. Now, this was in Florida, by the way. Stand your ground. The law's on my side 100%. I know the law is on my side. You broke in my house. I gave you a warning. With no gunshots, a verbal warning. You ignore my warning. You broke in my house. Fair game. Now, what Travis did was different. He went outside with these guys and was talking. First, the brother went outside and was talking. And then they're asking, yo, where's Travis? And then here comes Travis outside. Now, right away, we're doing the wrong thing. We're doing the wrong thing. You don't know these guys. The guy got his shirt off. You shouldn't even be outside. Okay? That's the first thing. Then, of course, there's a fight that goes on. They get into a fight outside. Travis goes back in the house, gets his gun, and as the guys are in the vehicle at this point, fleeing, he's shooting his rifle at these guys. 39 rounds get let off as they're speeding away. Now, that right there, they're going back in the house, getting the gun, and then letting it go as they're fleeing, all bad. That right there may get him hemmed up. Now, I understand self-defense. I understand wanting to protect yourself. But according to the law, that might not be the right thing to do, because you're shooting them as they are leaving. And one of the guys died, by the way, as they were fleeing the scene. Now, of course, the guys brought it on themselves because they came to the house with malicious intent. They were set up basically by the girlfriend. And by the way, the girlfriend was married, not to Travis, but to somebody else. She had a whole husband, was married, and was seeing the football player on the side, Travis. So she's married, getting mad at Travis for having other girls. So in her ridiculous 5.5 IQ rage, she sets her brother up and Travis up. Now, Travis is in the penitentiary or in jail fighting for his life and, going through the murder trial. And then one of her friend's homies is in the dirt, 6 feet down in the dirt. One of the other guys got shot, but he didn't die. So it was 4 guys. 2 guys got shot. 1 guy died, and the other 2 guys didn't get hurt. 39 rounds get let off. Now you having Travis in court fighting for his life, fighting a murder charge. To be Monday morning quarterback, he could have done so many things differently. First of all, don't go outside with these guys. You can see him in the ring camera, okay? The guy got his shirt off. That's all bad. You don't know them. What's going on? Then there's a fight going on. You go back in the house, get your gun, and as they're fleeing, you shoot them. Again, I don't have sympathy for the guys that died. They brought it on themselves. Or the one guy that died and the one guy that got shot. It was like, that's your fault. But legally, he's in a jam right now. So what do you guys think about the whole situation? He turned the car into a hearse. Exactly. Now, Oliver says premeditated first-degree murder once he went to get the rifle and shot at a leaving vehicle. That's what they're trying to argue right now. That's what they're arguing. And it's unfortunate that this happened to him because he just did not understand how to handle it. It should have just been what I said from the beginning. Those should have been the steps. But he probably just got scared and decided to shoot up the but you don't do it that way. You got to understand how to follow the law and what to do with your gun in that situation. You cannot do what he did. I think he was just ignorant to the way that things like that should operate, and now he's going to face a penalty for it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he may not necessarily get a big sentence. He may not get premeditated first degree, but he will go to jail. For how long, I'm not really sure. Hopefully not for too long, but he will go, for sure. And the side chick should get charged as well. Yes, absolutely, because she set it up. She set it up. The text message just said, yo, come shoot this place up. Come shoot the place up. And then the guys show up with guns. At least 2 of the guys had guns that she called to the house. So she should be charged. The guys that came to the house with guns should be charged. And then one of the guys, what he was saying was, oh, we just came for a fight. A fight? Listen, don't come to my house looking for no kind of trouble. Don't do it. Matter of fact, do not come to I didn't invite you to my house. Are you Amazon delivery? Are you a pizza man? Did I call you on the phone and say, let's have a party? If not, don't come to my house. If you come to my house, it could be a problem. If you breach my door, you stay outside, hey, man, I'm going to call the police and say, yo, these guys are outside my house. They're loitering. Come get them, whatever. They're on my property. Come get them. Once that door gets breached, it's all over with. All right. So I'm reading some of the and you know what? NEM says, do you think if Travis was white, BLM would be on this? I don't think so. It's possible, yes, because one of the guys died, but this might not really be a case they want to get involved with. It's too much of a criminal case, you know. Like the guy that died was dead wrong for doing what he did before he died. It's just a combination of the guys that came to the house being dead wrong, and also the guy that shot them being wrong for how he handled the situation. All right. Exactly, CB. They brought guns and went into fist fight. Right, exactly. Yeah, that don't sound right to me. That does not sound right to me. All right, I'm reading some of the comments here. Yeah, Old Grove's got to go down too. Oliver Torres said he had a cool down period, then he made a bad decision, but continuing to go after the individuals. Exactly. Bad decision, 100%. And here's something I want to say. If you are any person, regardless of male, female, whatever, any person, you shouldn't be dealing with somebody like that. A married person, a violent person. Look, the Ring camera showed her hitting him. He wasn't hitting her. She got mad about the text messages, and he called her the B word or something like that. And after that, she started hitting him. See, that kind of toxic kind of behavior, it's celebrated by some people, but I don't want to. If that goes on, I've experienced that before in my younger years. I've experienced that kind of, not nothing like that where guys get caught in my house and I got to shoot them. No, but I've experienced a toxic person before when I try to put their hands on you and all that kind of stuff. Now, before I get into the jujitsu and all that kind of good stuff, I'm going to go ahead and just cut ties with you because I'm seeing that this is going to be a bad person to be around. I don't want to be around you at all. I'm sure she had done things like that before, acting crazy or whatever. You don't go from being totally normal, no problems, to hitting on somebody, initiate physical contact, abusing the guy, and then texting your brother talking about, yo, come get him. That's not what's going on, okay? They had probably been there before. This was all bad. The guy made a lot of bad decisions. The first one was being with the girl. Second one was being with her despite being married. He probably knew about that. And then she shows violent tendencies, hood rat behavior. Get away from that. And it all culminated in another bad decision where he goes out, gets his rifle, and guns down a fleeing car. All bad. So make good decisions. Do not get hemmed up like this, and you won't be like your man Travis Rudolph. His brother was getting jumped. See, but there goes one of the bad decisions. You shouldn't have come outside. I'm seeing these guys in front of my door. One guy got his shirt off. I don't know y'all. Y'all young, 18. Man, look. What do y'all want? I'm going to talk to you through the ring cam. What do you want? What's up? Where's Travis at? He talked to my sister. He said something to my sister. Man, look, y'all better go ahead before you mess around and die. Leave the premises right now. That's it. El Soldado says, I had a girlfriend that liked getting choked. Okay, TMI right there. Yeah, I ain't gonna do that because I ain't trying to get a charge. I'm trying to just keep everything above board. Dude said, serious questions. Are booby traps legal in the States, like in Home Alone? I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good, but I don't know the answer to that question. Okay. I think the legality would be in if they can prove that you said it or not, I suppose. But I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. And like, what kind of trap? Like a landmine, some or like something like if you step over a tripwire in the grass, like a knife shoots out, hits you in the head. I don't know really what a booby trap would be. But that's a good question, though. Yeah, Manic Pixie. The guy should have had better options than women. If you have money or you got status, you got looks or whatever, you should pick better than that. You most certainly should pick better than that because the person has you in danger. So that's not what it is. Are they illegal, MJ? Oh man, that's unfortunate. I had no idea. I was going to try to invest into a booby trap around my house. It's like, all right, well, we got cameras and whatnot. We got security. We got nice, fortifications, but I want a little bit more. And a booby trap is, if you don't know what that is, it's like, how can I describe it? It's like if you are, to give an example of what one is, if you're walking on my grass, I will put something hidden in the grass that if you step on it, it activates and you get injured or something happens to you. Like, okay, a trap could be you walking in my grass for some reason, you step on the button, and when the button gets pressed, there's some kind of device that hits you right and square in your head. A paintball or some kind of sharp instrument or something. It might hurt you. It might not hurt you. It could be a water balloon, whatever. It's a booby trap. Now, my thing is, okay, if I can't have booby traps, then what can I have? Can I have a moat with gators in it? So let's say, for example, right, I got a really big, crazy house, like a castle type situation on a bunch of land, like Rick Ross's house, the old Holyfield house. And let's say I want to build a moat around the house. All right. I have one place where it's like a gate you can come in, and it's a big gate, big iron gate. You got to have access to the terminal to get a code or a fingerprint or a retina scan to come through the gate. And if you want to go around the gate, rather than having the fence, I have a moat. You can't really bridge it with anything because it's crazy terrain. It's rocks on either side. And inside the moat, there's gators. So if you fall into the moat, hey, man, you're going to be a snack for the gators, and they're going to be hungry. I'm going to keep the gators starving. So if they even so much as, if you put one boot in the swamp, in the moat, you're going to be food. Is that legal? I can't do that? Okay, so why can't I do that but not a booby trap? I don't see the difference. It's the same thing, in my humble opinion. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. Oh, I got to have a fence? Man, look, if little kids, look, you know what? Little kids got to understand you can't be over here, all right? I was watching the clip earlier. Matter of fact, I'm going to find that clip. Speaking about little kids and safety and whatnot, I'm going to play the clip, and you guys, like, give me your opinion about the clip when I play it, all right? Let me see if I can find it right quick. It's going to be kind of controversial. A little teeny bit controversial, but I'm going to play it for you guys. Y'all give me a second. And after that, I think I may play some of the Travis Rudolph situation. Let me get a second. And if I can find it, that'd be fantastic. I might not be able to, but I'm going to, for sure. All right. But basically, it's about gun safety because people are asking about, should it be a safe? Should you have some kind of, device to keep kids away from guns? And that's a good question, but maybe that's not the right question to ask. I'm going to find that. Hold on. Because I know what page it was on. There we go. Handle It Grips. Shout out to Handle It Grips. Was it him? It had to have been him. Yeah, we're going to find that. The dude that stabbed the gator in the head and got bitten. Oh, I saw the one guy that got his arm eaten. I don't know how this guy got into the water. Like, he was at a bar, right? He was at a bar, and for some reason he was in the water, and his arm got eaten off completely. I'm talking about he had a nub. So the bone and all that was gone. It's like, what and how did that happen? It's real, but like I said, I'm gonna have a whole moat full of those. That's gonna be my whole angle. All right. Man, I got so much content I can't get through it. Hold on. Beware the Gila monsters. His arm was eaten. I can't find, and if I play that clip, they're really going to get me. But his arm was eaten clean off. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to find the story. New York Post. Let's find the story. There we go. Now, I probably cannot play the actual clip, but I got the story. Let's put it up on the screen right quick, and then I'm going to get back to trying to find the other clip. So, Florida man, you know, every crazy story starts off, Florida man has arm ripped off by a 10.5-foot gator behind the bar. Like, what kind of headline is that? This was from a few days ago on the 23rd of this month. So, he had his arm ripped off by a 10.5-foot gator behind a joint called Bandito's Bar before a hero and fellow drinker helped pull him to safety. His name is Jordan Rivera from Port Charlotte. He was in Port Charlotte, Florida. Let me see. I'm reading this here. 1:45 a.m. That's him right there. That's a guy, and his arm is, look, a nub. I was not lying to you. He had a regular full arm, and afterward, it was a nub. Now, they ain't going to show the video. But they had to get him out of the water. Had to get the gator. And yeah, he has a nub now. I think above the elbow, all that's gone. So the bone, all of that, just it was pretty much a wrap. Yeah, that's the gator right there. So it says the 10.5-foot gator was captured and humanely killed after ripping his arm off. Yeah. So Florida men be going through it. Florida men, y'all really, really go through some drama. Okay, here's a video right here. I found it. Now, y'all give me your opinion. Do you agree or disagree? Let's go ahead and roll the clip. RIP headphone users. All right, hold on.
Kid in the house. Okay, let's go back.
I gotta just play it. It's kind of hard to play it and keep the sound on at the same time.
Done it if you have a kid.
So the question is, if you have a kid in the house, hold on. I'm trying to play it from the beginning. There we go.
Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
So if you have a kid in the house, where should your gun be? That's a thing. Where should your gun be if you got a kid in the house? Should it be in the safe? Should it be in one of those little boxes you can just open right quick? Where should your gun be if you got a kid in the house is the question.
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety? Okay, let's say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed. Okay? Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun in the safe? I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage. How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna do, right? Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
So do y'all agree, disagree, or whatever? He's saying, look, at a certain age, they are taught about firearm safety. So when that happens, you can leave it wherever because they're not going to play with it. They're not going to touch it. They're not going to play with it. Now, here's an example because what he's saying is right, in my opinion. I have a memory. Now, I'm telling this story, and I'm going to change names to protect the innocent. Now, I'm in a house, and there's a gun in the house. I'm probably about 4 or 5 years old, right? And I see the gun and where it is. The person put the gun high up on a shelf in a closet. But I'm a smart kid. I can get to it if I want to get to it. It ain't that high up in the you know what I mean? I can get to it if I want to get to it. But I know better than doing that. I know to not touch the gun. I'm not going to play with the gun. I'm not going to touch the gun. I know firearm safety. I'm 4 or 5 years old. I'm probably about no more than 5 years old when I see this happen. So I think at a certain point, you could teach kids firearm safety, and you also know your kids. If you have dumb kids, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Y'all don't misunderstand me, but you understand what I'm saying. How can I rephrase? I don't want to be offensive. If your kids aren't necessarily super smart like that, and you know that, then you might not want to do this for them at that age. But if your kids are smarter enough and they've been taught the ins and outs of gun safety, you know they understand. You keep it right there on the counter. They ain't gonna play with it. They ain't gonna touch it. I know I didn't. Y'all let me know. Oh yeah, and that beard, by the way, that beard is beard goals. I want my beard just like his. That's beard goals all day long. So shout out to him. I think that might be his name right there. Body by Bio 318. That might be his name right there, or the person that put up the video originally. But yeah, I agree with that 100%. But if your kids don't really understand and they're gonna just play with everything regardless, I probably wouldn't do it with them. But if your kids are smart and they understand and they've been trained about firearm safety, that's the key. They've been trained about firearm safety, then you could leave it right there on the dresser. They ain't gonna touch it. That was me. That was me all day long. I was probably about 4 years old and I knew not to touch it. And when I got to be, how old was I? Probably about 8 or 9 years old. I had a BB gun that resembled a regular gun. It had no orange tip or nothing. I go to my uncle's house and shoot cans in the backyard and all of that, like it was a regular, like a regular 9mm handgun. When I was probably about 8, 9 years old, I had that gun. And then I shot a rifle, probably about the same age. My shoulder was torn off after shooting that rifle at a farm. I shot it. But again, I'm taught at an early age firearm safety. So, I don't play with guns now. I don't have any guns anyway. Boating accident. It was terrible. Kids were screaming and everything. But I'm not going to play with no guns. This is why when I saw John Morant playing with the guns in the strip club, I got triggered. I got offended. It's like, why are you playing with your gun in the strip club? Why are you playing with your gun in the car, brandishing it in the vehicle? It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Yeah. But so I agree with the man who said that. Exactly, Hail Mary. Hail Mary says agree. We had 13 kids growing up with guns. Nobody died. Exactly. It depends on the kid. It's right, April Hudson. It does depend on the kid. Right next to the pillow in the cradle, huh? One in the chamber, ready to rock. I know that's right, Tommy Two Guns. Right in the chamber, right in the cradle, one in the chamber, ready to rock. I know that is right. Know your kids. That's right, JB. Know your kids, because not all kids are going to be the same. Some kids just going to do stuff, and you can't really trust them with certain things. So you got to understand what's going on, who you're dealing with. Real simple. All right. Now, here's a picture I wanted to show you guys. Can I show the picture right quick? Let me see if I can find it. All right. I got a couple videos for you guys. I know I'm running out of time. The time that went so fast. Already 2 hours up. I've been talking. The time just been running away from me. I have some videos and also pictures. Can I not find it? I had one, but it went away, I guess. Maybe they deleted it. No, they didn't. I think I just responded to it, and I didn't put it up on my thing. Yeah. All right. Here's a picture. Now, this picture right here went viral, and I defended the picture because this is how you're going to do it. If you're going to do a picture like this, you do it the right way. All right. Let me just get a moment and pull it up. So this young man right here graduated high school, and these are his graduation pictures. Now, you see the way he looks. You get the big dreads and everything. And people are, it kind of, if we're streaming, let me know. Hopefully we should be streaming. If y'all hear me, if you hear me talking, just let me know. We're back. We're back in the building. All right, y'all let me know. I think we're good now. Yeah, I think we're straight. All right. So what happened was I had a power outage, a quick power outage. And I probably got to replace my breaker box, actually, which is crazy, but whatever. You know, these new houses be kind of wilding out. Okay, we're back. We're back in the building. There we go. Okie dokie. Now, back to what I was saying. Let me get right back to it. So, shout out to YouTube. YouTube let me just have it's kind of hard to explain, but I was able to get right back into action without having to start a new stream or anything like that. So, we're good. Okay, so here's a picture, right? Young man graduating high school. He has his guns, dreads or whatever. It sparked a big reaction from a lot of black folks. They're saying, oh, he's trying to be a thug or whatever. But nah, check it out. Trigger discipline. Okay, number one. Number two, you're graduating high school. Okay, you're not a ne'er-do-well doing nothing, dropping out. Number two, that's the second thing. The third thing is you're at home. Okay, I'm seeing you might be in your laundry room or something like that in a decent house. If the walls are painted, you're doing the right thing. You're not outside in the strip club. You're not outside in the vehicle. You're not pointing the guns at the camera. Your finger's not in the trigger. You're doing what you should be doing. You're probably 17, 18 years old. So you're doing right. No future. Why would you say no future? I mean, you see plenty of you see this a lot with people graduating high school or college, especially college. There was one video I did many years ago of a young lady out here in Chattanooga who had her gun on her at the Hunter Museum right there by the river. Yep. While I pose with the guns. Now, hold on, check it out though. Let me pull up the one. I'm pull it up right quick. Remember this right here? Okay. Now, I did a video back then supporting that because I know where that's at. That's right there by the Hunter Museum, right there by the Walnut Street Bridge on the Tennessee River, downtown Chattanooga. I took a picture right there in that same spot, and I did a video. This is many years ago. This is Brenna Spencer, by the way. I did it many years ago supporting her. So how can I be a hypocrite? And I think she was also at the same time graduating. So how can I, support her in the video and then not support him? They're both graduating. But you see one person looks one way and she looks a different way. You see what I'm saying? And then also there was the one, what's the old girl's name? Kayleigh something. Not Kayleigh McEnany, but another Kayleigh. I forget her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about though. Let me see. The lady that had a gun at the actual, that was Brenna Spencer. Back up. This is many years ago. I did a video covering that. Yep, graduation picture. Absolutely. Yes, it was. All right. I mean, a person's looks should not determine whether they have the right to bear arms. You understand what I'm saying? No, young man got dreads and everything else, but I learned a long time ago, do not judge a book by its cover because you will be deceived every time. Caitlin, thank you. Caitlin Bennett. Yep. Now, here's one. And you're going to see the same thing. Matter of fact, hold on. Now, not only does she have her gun on her and it's graduation, she went to the school. So now if we're going to support this, which I did right when she did it, I did a video supporting her or I commented on a live stream. Okay, same thing. Now, if we're going to support that, then we can't be hypocrites and not support the other one, right? We got to support it all. Are his guns legal? I don't know. Is hers legal? Like I said, I don't judge books by their cover. I don't do that because you be wrong a lot of times. So it is what it is. And if you don't support that, that's fine. But I know I supported when she did this. I did a video about it. And I took a picture right there in that same spot. And I supported her when she did that. All right. Where's the gun? Exactly, Burko. Where's the gun? I don't know, man. Good question. Ain't no gun, huh? Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them though. Yeah, in front of the school, right? Exactly, Manic Pixie. See, at least a young man right here, he's at the crib. At the crib, not at front of the school, not in the club, not in the car. See, Ja Morant, why I hate him is because he had his gun probably on a team plane, illegal, violating laws, irresponsible gun owner. Then he was playing with the gun in the strip club where it shouldn't be. Again, irresponsible gun owner. And then after having this whole thing about, oh, I apologize for having the gun on the plane, allegedly, and in the club, he gets caught again in the vehicle waving it around. This young man's at home. And what I told people that Ja should have done was, you could be at the house, you could be at the range, you could be in a controlled environment, and it's fine if you're doing something like that. But to be where he was, it was out of pocket. So it's simple. It's simple. A smile would help. Hey, you know what? A smile would help, right? A smile would help. Do you see a smile right there? A little bit, a little teeny smile, but it is what it is. How do you get a gun on the plane? It was a chartered flight, so ain't no TSA on a chartered flight. See, that's the problem. And then it became a problem in the NBA to the point where they put a rule about bringing guns on chartered flights in the collective bargaining agreement, which is why when he did that, it should have been an automatic suspension of 50 games, but it didn't happen. They gave him a slap on the wrist instead. You see? That's a good question, though. All right. Now, yeah, I'm not really into the whole race thing. I just think that if somebody looks threatening more than somebody else, then it is what it is. Now, here's another video I got for you guys before I keep on going. I know I'm getting late, but don't blame me, blame the white man. Here's something from Los Angeles for you guys. I call it live, laugh, loiter. All right. Live, laugh, loiter. Let's check it out. All right. It says home sweet homeless and try smoking. So this is a tent right here on the streets of Los Angeles. And that's what we got in front. Home sweet homeless. I mean, that's LA for you, man. Only I don't see things like that over here on the East. I've never seen somebody with a whole house tent on the ground, on the street, just outside of a commercial building. I mean, that's crazy. It probably is a home theater system in there, butthead. It probably is a projector and everything else in there. All right. Oh, and I almost forgot about this video right here. This is very controversial. I put the video on Instagram, on the TikToks, all that good stuff. This is very controversial. Now, we'll get into it briefly, then I get to the calls a little bit after this. Oh, and the sidewalk is dirty. That's right. I almost forgot about the sidewalk. Yeah, that sidewalk is completely filthy, but it is what it is. Right. I'm seeing, I don't know what that is. Somebody gets shot right there. I have no clue what's going on. But I digress. So here's a video right here. Now, this is a lifting championship, some kind of weightlifting, powerlifting championship. And you have the medal ceremony. Okay. The winner is a Ukrainian guy. The runner-up is from South Africa, a white guy, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then an Iranian guy, and a Persian guy from Iran, okay? So he came in third place. Now, watch what happens here, then I'm going to discuss it.
Please stand for the national anthem of Ukraine.
So you saw what happened there. Let's watch it one more time. Then I'm going to break it down play by play. So again, the Ukrainian guy is winning the medal, coming in first place. The South African guy, a white guy, coming in second. The Iranian guy coming in third. Okay. Now they're all from their respective countries, Ukraine, South Africa, and Iran. So the guy from South Africa shakes the presenter's hand. And then the guy from Ukraine reaches out to the South African guy to shake his hand. Okay. They shake hands. It's all good. Right. No problem. And then the Iranian guy tries to shake the guy from Ukraine's hand. And he's waving them off. Nope. Don't want to do it.
Please stand.
The presenter comes and gives the guy from Ukraine a flower.
For the national anthem of Ukraine.
And the Iranian guy is like, okay, maybe there might have been a mistake. You're trying to get the flower. I'm going to get that right quick. Then I'm going to get right back to you. Maybe that's what he's thinking. So he tries one more time for the handshake and gets denied. So he ain't feeling it too tough. You see his face, he's not liking that too tough at all. Shaking his head like, okay. So the Ukrainian guy refused to shake the hand of the Iranian guy. Now, here's the thing. People are defending the Ukrainian guy because they say, hey, you know what? Iran is supplying Russia with weapons, so I want to shake his hand either because that's my enemy country. Really? Is this guy your enemy? Y'all were just competing with each other or against each other on the same place. So how is this guy your enemy? Just because his country is doing a thing that you don't like? How does it make any sense? Okay? I don't like some things that we do in America as Americans. Do I hate America? No, I don't. I'm still Captain America. And just because he's Iranian does not mean he agrees with his government either. So why make him be punished for that? Okay, by refusing to shake his hand. This is caused an international incident. This is an embarrassing moment for Iranians, and it makes Ukrainians look like they're ridiculous and racist because let's go back to the South African guy, shall we? Now, remember I covered the BRICS nations. They're trying to come together to create one currency to X out the West, to X out the European Union, to do things on their own. Okay, and the European Union and NATO in the West are Ukraine's allies. They're helping them, quote unquote, in the war against Russia, in the war, quote unquote, against Russia. So if you are in a group, a consortium, a conglomerate or whatever of countries that seek to usurp the ability of the West to gain monetary funds to give you in your war against the Russian Federation, why would you be in favor of them? But South Africa is in BRICS. Remember, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So while you're talking about Iran is aiding your enemy, is it South Africa as well? And allegedly, South Africa gave Russia some weapons in December of last year, allegedly. And the ICC has an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin, but they're going to have the BRICS conference in South Africa, and South Africa refuses to arrest Vladimir Putin. So my question is it about some political stuff or is it about something else? The idea about Ukraine right now is that they're racist and they're Nazis with the Azov battalion in the Donbass in the far eastern part of the country. So I'm not saying he's a racist, but if he's not, I can't tell. If it's a political thing, it should be against South Africa and Iran, not just Iran, but whatever. Yeah, skin too dark. Exactly. I'm seeing a racist because if it's about political things, you should be upset at both of the countries, not just one country. They said Iran sold Russia some drones that they use in Ukraine. Well, how about South Africa doing the same thing, allegedly? How about South Africa being in a consortium with Russia, helping Russia, getting involved in trade and one currency and everything else with Russia? It makes no sense to me, but whatever. People just they're going to make up a thing to make themselves feel better. That's why Ukraine, I'm not really a fan of, and I try to just keep my feelings about a particular country, about their government, about Zelensky and the corruption and the graft that goes on. But the people of Ukraine, like this guy, do not serve their country well by behaving like this on a national stage, on an international stage, in front of the whole world. They don't do well. You have a negative, you have a negative image to a lot of the world about being racist, about hating non-whites. That's the image, and you're not proving yourself any different right here. So it is what it is. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And you know what? There could be some kind of backstory here. But if they did not like each other, why would the Iranian guy try to shake his hand? Not once, but twice. Why would you do that? With a smile on his face, like, hey, man, shake my hand. He's like, nah. Twice he does this. Why? That's all I got to ask. All right. And we send them billions of dollars. We send them. Oh, if you don't want to send Ukraine money, you're a racist. You're a bigot. You're hateful. Really? Is that what it is? Ridiculous. Okay. Meanwhile, South Africa is also in quote unquote bed with Russia. They're in BRICS. Iran's not, but South Africa is. But this is totally fine. It's so dumb, but whatever. Let me come back to the screen so you can see me. All right. And yeah, we send them a lot of money. And it really, I'm with y'all. You know, I'm Captain America. That's really what it's about. You know, if Ukraine wants to fight Russia in a losing effort, they could do it without our money. Why we got to send them $1 trillion to lose in the end? They're not going to win that war. And we're not trying to have them win the war. If they were going to win the war, they would need other things like, I don't know, nukes, things that can actually impact Russia in Russia rather than just fighting them right there in Ukraine. All they're doing right now is fighting a proxy war on our behalf so we can weaken Russia within the state of Ukraine. That's all. It ain't about helping Ukraine. We don't really care about them. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. If you like what you heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We got calls to get to in a minute. The number to call, 434-658-1220. But we got super chats on deck first. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says Kayleigh has been attacking 45 since 2015. I mean, she said some things about in 2015 that were negative, but after that, Trump hired her as press secretary, and then she was not that way anymore. And if she still felt that way in 2015, why would Trump hire her after he said things, or she said things about him negatively on air? You know, obviously it's going to be a conversation about that before she gets hired. And throughout her entire time as press secretary, she's been nothing but loyal to Trump. Thank you to being there for becoming a member or being a member still. Thank you to Devin, who says, happy birthday to my birthday buddy, Atomic Tabasco. Well, shout out to you and Atomic Tabasco. Happy birthday to both of y'all, to Devin and Atomic Tabasco. I appreciate y'all for sure. Thank you to Atomic Tabasco, who said happy birthday to my twin, Devin. Shout out to y'all. Thank you to Lancelot, who said thank you, ABL, for all your hard work. And cheers with a bunch of drinks. Thank you to The Bullet, who says, request, would you be willing to do a show covering ESG, corporate ratings, woke ratings? I may do that. I may do that if I can find a lot of information about it that would fill up a show. Sure. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, my man tried to get me some fresh air 10,000 feet up. He was hot on that plane, ABL. Come on, man. Cut that man some slack. I think not. I cut him a few elbows to the top of the head, to the temple. Knock him clean, smooth on out. Okay. Thank you to Caius, who says, what about the leak from Ron's team on abortion? I don't know about that. I've not seen that. Thank you to No White Guilt, who says, ABL, I'm recovering from a minor surgery and enjoying the show. Rock on. Thank you for that, man, and get well soon. Thank you to Aaron Bethay, who says, if someone enters my home and they happen to survive the fatal funnel, then they belong to me. I'll start asking questions. Waterboarding is uncomfortable. Just saying. Hey, I feel you on that one, for real. Thank you to Not Provided, who says, just tuned in. I don't want to bug you too much, but can you do a poll as to whether or not you should cover the Downing Street Gates ramming as well as Syed Varshith Kandula? I think it's important. I'm not going to do a poll on it, but I'm going to look into it. Thank you for that, because I did forget about that. I appreciate you for it. All right. Time for the calls. I know I'm late, but don't blame me. Blame the white man. Had a little bit of a power outage. Thank you for coming back and sticking around and waiting for the show to get back rocking and rolling. But the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Don't be afraid to call. It is all good. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Yeah, I'm doing the calls right now. See, you're right on point. Creepscular Sunshine, you're right on time, boss. All right, hold on. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Man, first it was Bud Light, then it's Target, now it's Chick-fil-A.
You know what? That whole thing about Chick-fil-A, that's an old video. I saw that with Dan Cathy, the CEO, talking about washing feet and all of that.
Well, not that one, but they added the diversity, equity, and inclusion team.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I did see that.
This is one thing about the diversity inclusion thing, and I want to go talk about the Christian aspect of it, because since Chick-fil-A said that there are a Christian business, for one, I would say I want to look at it as something positive, that they are trying to do something good, but the old saying, all good things. Wait, what's that old saying? The road to hell is paved by
good intentions.
Yeah, good intentions. Yeah, good intentions. The whole social justice and the diversity, equity, inclusion thing goes against Christian teaching. The reason why is because they only focus on one thing, race, while with Jesus' teaching, it's focused on the whole person. Also, with the whole social justice, they always see the white person as intrinsically evil. White skin is intrinsically evil. When you think of them as intrinsically evil, you think that they cannot be saved. They are born to be evil, and there's nothing you do would save them. Which, in teaching of Jesus Christ, that we are saved by the grace of God through Jesus' death and resurrection. The last thing about the whole diversity, inclusion, and equity, and the whole social justice thing is that you want us to accept the behavior of things that goes against Christian teaching. I understand, like in the job thing, that whatever you do in your life probably doesn't matter depending on what jobs. However, there are certain jobs where what you do in life does matter. Also, you also put out ads and commercials, not just supporting the person, but you're supporting that sinful activity, that sinful behavior that goes against Christian teaching. That is why it is bad that Chick-fil-A is doing this.
Right, it makes sense.
The last thing I want to talk about is that video of that law student that gave that speech.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is where I'm kind of torn when people say that college is a scam, because I kind of disagree with it. At the same time, I get the sentiment when you hear things like that. Did you watch DJ Blad, some of his interviews?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Yeah, did you see the one with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, because DJ Blad asked Neil deGrasse Tyson the question about, is college a scam? I do agree with Tyson when he said that a lot of people who are saying it are the people who go to college and do those what we call basket weaving degrees. Means that the degrees that's so easy and you don't get anything in return from it. And also the people who are not mentally ready to go to college, or just basically should not have never been to college.
See, the problem with that is that while he's right, there's got to be responsibility of people that get you signed up to advise you. Like you have advisors in college, right? And you go to their advisors and you asking questions. They're not really telling you honest answers. They're telling you whatever you want to hear, so you can get into the college and spend your money. So that's the problem I have with college, and that's why it can be a scam if you let it be a scam. If you go into it not knowing what's going on, you see. But anything else, you're talking about buying a car, buying a house. They don't just let you get a car or a house if you can't afford it. You know, like they know. Okay, you got bad credit. You don't have a job, you probably should not get a loan for $300,000. But with college, oh, no problem. You can't read, come on in. You don't know how to do math, come on in. You can do whatever you want to do. We'll take your money. That's the problem I got.
But yeah, to add to that, where if you say that it's a scam, is that Neil deGrasse Tyson said that with college, you're supposed to go there to learn how to think, to learn how to problem solve. Yet, this is from my experience now being a professor in med school and teaching some of the undergrads, that in the STEM programs, how this progressive ideology is affecting the STEM programs, and you see it with that law student. Personally, what happened to me, I'm not going to go into detail, but it is so scary that if I say something factual, and I'm in science, in hardcore science, if I say something factual, people get triggered.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much detail, but I will say this. I teach biology. I teach embryology. A medical student said in my evaluation that they got triggered and felt uncomfortable me teaching because I said when the two DNA from the sperm and egg come together, you have a brand new human being, and it's a developing human. And they say that they got triggered. How are you going to get triggered on a biological fact when I'm talking about human embryology? If this human DNA is a human, what is it going to be developed into? That's why it's so scary. And I understand how people are saying that it's a scam, because I can't even say things that's biologically a fact now.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
100% crazy, man.
All right. Sorry about that rant, but I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, it's crazy out here. You can't even say facts, basic things. Okay. Sperm and an egg, baby. Oh, I'm triggered, offended, racist. Crazy. $615, you don't learn who am I speaking to?
What's up, man? It's Boom. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Man, I got the story of the century for you tonight. I'm going to try to bust it out as fast as I can. It goes along with the dude. What's the name of the football player dude with the ring camera fight and with the shootout? What's the dude's name?
You're talking about Travis Rudolph.
Yeah. It goes along with that. Okay, so just in case you didn't know, and I'm going to try to spit this as fast as I can, but this is crazy. Buckle your seatbelt for this one. So, in case you didn't know this, Rebel Without a Reason is my big brother, for real. Okay, so it's been a while. It's been, I don't know how many years it's been. It's been a few years ago, let's just say that. So, Rebel decides to take his late wife out to dinner. And he told his son, who was a teenager at the time, to stay at home. Like, hey, man, y'all just kick it here. You and your best friend kick it here. We'll be back later. So they go out to eat, and they're sitting at the restaurant. Man, meanwhile, now we put this together after the fact. Meanwhile, there's a dude up the street at the bar that's like 2 blocks away from his house, and he's sitting there with this, and he starts macking on this girl. He does not know this girl. He starts pimping on her, macking on her, throwing her drinks. He gets her super duper drunk, and she's like, hey, you want to go back to my house? He's like, yeah, I want to go back to your house. So they go, and he's like, where do you live? Only 2 blocks away, turn this corner, and I live at the roundabout. Okay, I myself put this together. There's 2 roundabouts on that street because I used to live on that street. So one of them is my brother's, and the other one possibly, allegedly, could have been hers. So they pull into the roundabout. Your man gets out the car, grabs the girl, walks in the front door, boom, throws her on the couch, on my brother's couch, not on her couch. He thinks he is in her house, but he's at my brother's house. My nephew comes down the steps and say, whoa, who are you? And he's like, hey, little man, why don't you go back upstairs, man? I got your sister right here. And he's like, huh? Yeah, man, go back upstairs, little man. And he's like, hey, man, I ain't your little man, homie, and that's not my sister neither. I ain't got no sister, man. Who are you? And he's like, Man, go on upstairs, little man. This is her house, man. Let that girl rest, man. Let her just sleep this off for a minute. Man, I'm gonna take care of this business. And he's like, hey, man, I'm about to call my dad over here. You better get up out of my house. And the dude was like, hey, little man, go upstairs, man. I got your sister. And he's like, dude. He gets his cell phone and calls his daddy. My brother immediately like, yo, there's a dude in our house that's got a girl on the couch right now, passed out drunk. And my brother thinks that he's tripping and he's just messing with him. Like, yeah, right. So he's up there eating as fast, but then he could just tell that his son was telling the truth. So he snapped into him, was like, all right, man, let me get back to my house, man. Something's going on. So he comes back to the house. The dude is in his, straight up, the guy's in his driveway. He walks in the front door. This drunk girl's on his couch, and there's a stranger in his house, man. First of all, I'm going to pause right here. What do you do? What do you do, ABL, if this is you at this point? I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to finish the story after I get your answer. What are you thinking right now?
Oh, my gun's out right away, instantly. Like, yo, you got to get out. Matter of fact, matter of fact, you know what? Police getting called, and then my gun's out, and he has to get out.
So check this out. This is insane. Go and buckle it up, man. I'm talking about zip it up super duper tight, like you're on an airplane when the door just opened up. So this is how it ended. He walks in the door. He looks at the dude. He's like, hey, son, go upstairs. Lock your door now. Get upstairs. Boom. He tells both kids, take off running. Get up there, lock the door. You, get this girl, get out of my house now. Dude gets bucked like, hey, man, who are you? I'm here with her. What do you think this is? This is her house. And he's like, hey, fool, this is my house. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to my safe. I'm coming back in 5 seconds. You better get out of my house. Dude, he goes quick. His wife was standing there keeping an eye on these two fools. The girl was still passed out. The dude's just standing there wondering what's really going on. My brother goes to the safe, hits the code, gets out the shotty, clack, clack. He actually walked up to the dude, put it right in his face, and goes, clack, clack, get up out of my house. I'm going to blow your head off now. You're an intruder. Get out of my house. And as he says that, the girl comes to life, dog, and starts jumping up and grabs the shotty and starts wrestling him while he has the shotgun in his hand. They are fighting each other. He's fighting a girl like, oh, no. And it's loaded. It is ready to go. It has one in the head. He's wrestling this girl like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. The girl puts the shotgun. He wrestles it till it's under her chin, homie. Oh. Under her chin. Dude, and then the guy gets in on it. He's wrestling the guy now. The girl, I can't remember what happened to the girl, but the dude gets in on it and starts grabbing it too. And the shotgun is under, the head of it is underneath their chin, homie. And he said, man, all I had to do was pull the trigger, but he didn't want to kill nobody. So some way, somehow, I don't know how this dude pulled some ninja stuff off, but he kicked open, his front door was closed. He got his front door open, cracked open his storm door, and did some ninja kick and said, doom, doom, and kicked them both in the stomach and kicked them both out of his front porch onto the driveway, and the drunk girl landed in goose poop, dog. She's swimming in goose poop in his front yard. And the dude is standing there in the street going, man, you can't do this to me. You can't hold that gun in my face like this. You can't do that, man. You can't just pull a gun on me. And my brother's just standing with the shotty in his face going, dude, I will blow your head off. Get out of here now. This is my house. You've been an intruder in my house. Dude, this is a true story. And the craziest thing about this whole story is I was at a pizza joint about 3 miles down the road, and for whatever reason, a thought came into my head, hey, man, you ain't seen your brother in a while. You should go by your brother's house and see what's going on. And I pulled up. As soon as the dude dipped, the dude had just dipped out, and it wasn't even 2 minutes later, I walked up on this scene, man, and my brother was tripping. He was freaking out, telling me this story about how he just got into a fight with these two people. He almost killed them. And I'm like, what? And the whole time I'm thinking, why did you not just pull that trigger, dude? And man, the look on his face was like, man, he couldn't just see pulling that trigger and blowing them brains all over the ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just telling you this story. This is real life stuff, and this is what happens when people you mess around and you walk into the wrong house. Anything could happen. And what's crazy is nothing ever happened from this. No police, no nothing. The dude walked away. He even looked at dude's ID. They made sure he didn't kidnap the girl. He said, man, he told my brother the whole story. And that was the end of it, man. He said, man, get up out my house. Come back again. I'm going to kill you, dog. And dude never showed up again. How crazy is that?
That's a whole Lifetime movie right there. That's crazy.
It is. I had to, man, when you was telling the story, I was like, man, I got to call in. So I texted him. I was like, dude, please give me permission to tell this story because it was insane. I couldn't believe it. And I could not think to be him. So when I saw your video today, I think it was yesterday I saw that video, I was like, man, to be in that dude's shoes, and it reminded me of my brother, man. I was like, dog, oh my God, that's crazy. The only way dude messed up, though, is he chased them down when they were running, man. He was chasing them going, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And that's probably going to get him, man. That's what sucks about that whole story. He was in the right until he chased them down when they were fleeing, and that's what sucks about the laws, man. I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate the story.
All right, man. I hope you enjoyed that story, man.
Definitely.
Hey, great show tonight, man.
Thanks for the call, man.
Keep it up, man. We love you, dog. Peace.
Appreciate you. Wow. Yeah, that was a wild story right there. I mean, what would you do in that situation? You got these intruders in your house, drunk, acting the fool. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, I got breaking news for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys know about sports or about sports talk, but Shannon Sharp is leaving Undisputed. So he reached a buyout with Fox Sports 1, and his last show will be after the NBA Finals in June. So it's coming up very soon here. There will be no more Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. So no more Skip. No more of that going on. Effective almost immediately. All right.
What do you do?
I
got breaking news for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys know
304, can you hear me?
Hey, ABL, it's Derek.
All right.
It's your favorite Georgia/West Virginia boy.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Well, I'm not going to be as enthusiastic as Boonhauer there. Let me take up. But I was wanting to I wrote some things down because I can't remember anything. But you was asking about the Outer Banks show on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not really about like the Outer Banks. It's like a bunch of teenagers looking for some gold, like some treasure or whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that ain't it.
Yeah, it's the show. It's called Outer Banks, but it's not like it's a I don't know what you call it, like a I don't know. They're just looking for some treasure, and it goes from here to there, whatnot. But the tinkering, right? Is that a charge? Like you get caught tinkering with something?
It should be. It should be a charge. I don't know about the laws over there in South Korea, but that most certainly should be a federal offense.
Yeah, I mean, like there was 194 people on that plane, so. What was the guy? Was the guy that was tinkering? Was he actually mental? Like did he have serious problems, or was he just being stupid?
They're saying he has mental problems. I don't know about if he had problems before the whole tinkering episode, but they said when they were arresting him, they couldn't really talk to him because he had mental problems. So I don't know if that's happened because he just the situation, or if he was already like that. I can't really tell you.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if he didn't, wouldn't that be like at the very least, like 194 counts of attempted murder or some type of terroristic actions or something like that? I mean, wouldn't you think that?
It should be, most certainly, because you're talking about you putting the whole plane at risk and everybody on board, all the souls on board, so it most certainly should be a thing.
Yeah, yeah, but the whole Kayleigh McEnany and Donald Trump thing, man, like, I don't know what happened between them, like behind closed doors or whatever, but it seems to me like he's got something against her, and it's not just the poll reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't follow it that closely, but maybe she's done some things, or maybe doing some things that he just don't like. And she might be trying to sell out to the media, kind of like Tucker realized, like, oh, I've been lying this whole time, and maybe she needs to take Tucker's route and follow his footsteps. But who's to really say what happened behind all that, right?
Right. Yeah, it's difficult to understand any kind of behind the scenes things, but I feel like someone that should just be for behind the scenes, and it shouldn't really play out in the public.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think Trump needs to, like, instead of attacking people like her or anybody in the media or whatever, just, maybe brag about whenever he was in office, how good things were back then, and don't try to change these crazy people's minds that their minds just ain't never going to be changed. Just remind people, hey, you remember whenever I was here and this was doing that, and put out stats and numbers, the price of gas, the price of groceries. There was zero conflict going on and all that stuff. I mean, shouldn't he be doing that instead of attacking folks like Ron DeSantis and especially Kayleigh McEnany or anybody for that matter? Just, brag about what was good when he was there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Now, I could understand attacking like opponents that could be in the primary, because he was doing that in 2016. I could understand that, but Kayleigh McEnany, I mean, she's not running for president. Like, why attack her? It's just unnecessary. Things that make sense, I understand to do, but things that don't make sense, I don't understand to do. So, yeah, and focus on what you're going to do if you were to become the president again. And also, like you said, focus on things that you did well during your time versus what Trump is doing. I mean, versus what Biden is doing that's not well.
Yeah, that's basically my point. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand you might want to throw some stuff at your opponent, but somebody in the media, I mean, I know she used to work for him or whatever you want to call that, but yeah, that's ain't no big deal. But I got one more thing to say, and it was about the guy talking about the kids with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
I got my first BB gun whenever I was 3 years old, I think. I had a little Red Ryder, but my dad taught me how to shoot it. He taught me how to be responsible with it. And like, we didn't go to the range or anything, but I knew what a gun was. And, I was taught to be scared of guns, but also what they were for, and these kids that are not taught anything about guns, and they just see a gun sitting out, they're going to want to grab it and play with it and mess around with it. But a child, or even a 10-year-old, I think he was talking about, the kid was like 9 years old. I mean, a 9-year-old, if he's used to guns, if he's shot guns, knows about guns, when he sees the gun laying there, just say it's on the table in a holster, he's just going to walk right past it.
Right.
But a child that's not used to it, they're going to want to play with it because they saw it on TV and whatnot. They don't know, they think it's going to be, like a toy. But if you show your kids guns, I'm not saying like, here's a bunch of guns, look here, but just teach them about firearms. Then you could leave a gun leaned up in the corner in the bedroom or whatever, and they're not even going to mess with it because they know that you'll take them out and shoot it the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I know I'm like the third call, and your time's about up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, buddy.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Later.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and go to 859. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going? It's me, Laverne Mordred. How's it going? Hey, I'm happy to hear the show. I'm loving the show, man. I'm really enjoying it. I got something to tell you, man. I've been in airplanes before, and about the whole airplane story, that's insane. I would never imagine that happening in recent times, you know?
Right now, I'm with you.
Yeah, and you hear about something like from BTK, you know, jumping out of the airplane, or the Blue Guys conspiracy of, I forgot his name, jumped out of the helicopter with a bunch of cocaine. I don't remember. It's a long story, but you get my point. But I'm enjoying the show, man. And the thing is, I mean, all these big people with the body, you know, the body positivity movement and stuff like that, they're getting upset by airplanes. I'm like, I don't hear athletes complain about this. And promise me, I used to take planes with pro wrestlers, to a football team, to high school wrestlers, and they have panic attacks when they see guys who are teenagers who are 600 plus pounds who are linemen. They get extra seats, and you never hear them like, "Oh, I had to get 3 extra seats because I'm a linebacker of the football team. Poor me." I'm like, you don't hear them complaining about it.
Right, exactly.
And I'm a big guy. I'm 280 pounds. I used to be indie wrestler, bro. Man, I mean, I would make a living getting hit by chairs, you know, throwing the tables. And I'm a big husky guy, and I used to do that. And I'm a big guy, and it's like, hey, we're going to move you to this seat, this seat, this seat, no, this seat. And they're like trying to figure out, it's like, this guy's heavy. We're going to put this guy at. I had that happen before. So I didn't complain about it. I don't know. These self-entitled brats online, it's like they come off as narcissists. You know, I'm lucky to even get a flight.
Right now, I'm with you. Yeah, but see, but you're able to just understand what it is and roll with it. But some of us got to be victims, and they got to figure out a way. And I feel like a lot of people just eat a whole lot, get to be real big, real fat, so they could be a victim. That's part of the whole thing. Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's like, some of these people are like sucker up buttercup. I mean, I knew guys who were like 7 foot tall who had to go through airplanes. And it was like, man, I had to pay this much? Because he realizes I'm 7 foot tall. That's why.
Right.
You know? Oh, and it's insanity, because I knew this stuff in the beginning. Like, when you go into an airplane, it's a airplane in the air that's heavy, and any kind of form of shift of weight will cause an accident. That's basic biology. And some of these people who are not knowing, they're just dumb Gen Zers or millennials, not understanding physics. It's crazy. It's insanity.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm annoyed by it, because it's like, I've been there, I've done that, and some people say they think it's like, no, I learned from experience. Absolutely. By the way, ABL, dude, I would love to see you do some shorts on certain things. You know, certain subjects of the bus driver and the other occupants having firearms and stuff like that. Have them like go short of that, or like some of your stories, dude. That would be awesome.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that on different platforms, because when I put shorts on YouTube, it's kind of weird. But I'll definitely do short videos for some of those.
Yeah, I could show my friends, like, hey, look at this guy right here, and it'd be a short, and it would give you appreciation to your other stuff. Because I like your dude. I love calling you up and talking to you. I love watching your videos a lot, man. You're entertaining, man. You know, I don't mind agree with everything you talk about that you agree with, but hey, you're informative, man. Well, thank you, really are. I really appreciate it. Hey, man, much love, man. I talk to you later, man. We gotta hang out sometime from Lexington, bro.
No doubt, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, much love, man. Love the show, bro. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right, let's say I got to write a book. I got to do shorts. I got to do everything, huh? If you ask, you shall receive. How about that? Let's keep on going here. Let's go to 520. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, hi.
Hi, dear. My name is Marina. I called for the first time almost a couple of weeks ago. How are you doing this evening?
I'm well. About yourself?
Doing great, thank you. Just wanted to ask you for your opinion on something. I have watched a video about Kayleigh McEnany and how Donald Trump has been pretty much opening his mouth again. Okay, I actually voted for Trump twice. I like Trump, but the more I see him, hear about him, pretty much insulting people, I'm kind of retreat into my shell. So I've had this relationship for 5 years now. I like him, I don't like him. I like him, I don't like him. So what would you say to someone like me who, on the one hand, has seen his proven record of doing good things, the securing the border, etc., the foreign policies, relations, etc. What would you say to someone like me as to how to think about this? Should I, if he's a nominee, should I vote for him? Or, of course, you're not going to tell me what to do, whether you can vote or not. But I'm wondering, should I think of him as a purely policy and what he could do for our country? Or should I look at him and say he might be a liability and things should be stalled, nothing will get done because of his stubborn nature? What do you think? I hope I'm making myself clear. Obviously, I'm foreign.
I understand what you mean. Yeah,
but I've lived here. I've lived in the U.S. for 24 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, if you ask me, I would say I would hope that you were able to look past the flaws and look toward the good part. That's what I would hope you would do. But I understand you make your own decision, and you might have to decide on what you want to do. But I would hope you would look past the flaws and look toward the good, because with anybody else, there's going to be pros and cons.
Yes. That's exactly what I've been thinking. And now I'm like, what if every time someone is kind of saying a little something about him, he goes full crazy like this? But I do like what he has done for 4 years. Absolutely. I think he is one of the best presidents we've had. I really do. Yeah, I really do. He's done a lot of good things. Yeah. So I just wanted to see what your opinion was.
Well, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. So thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Great show as usual. Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
That's a good call. And I've heard that same thing quite a bit, like behind the scenes, people that I know, people that you're not going to see on the internet, people that ask me that, and all I can say is hopefully you look past the flaws and focus on the positive. And with anybody else, there's pros and cons. The problem with Trump is that there's so many cons in people's minds, and there's so many pros. It's just a lot. And some would rather just have fewer pros in exchange for fewer cons. And it is what it is. And it's hard to convince people otherwise. All right. Let's keep on going here. Let's go to 504, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
I'm glad I was able to get through. It's been a while. So I want to say shout out to the callers, and Boom's story was very cool. And yeah, so I think with Trump, maybe I was talking in the chat to some others, and maybe a theory is that she could be doing something that he knows about, that of some kind of betrayal, and that could be a possibility, something we don't know. Or maybe I feel he's very paranoid. He's been hated since 2016, and I do think he's very rattled after all these years, but I'm not too sure if he acted correctly, because she was always in his corner from what I can remember.
Yeah, it's just very confusing. She always had his back, so if there's any kind of problems, he should just speak to her directly and figure out what's going on, rather than just airing it out on social media.
Exactly, because a lot of times it's best to not let your emotions control you, but to control your emotions. And I think it's good to have a stoic mindset with things. And Absolutely. I think that it would be good for him to exercise that.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yes. And I think it was crazy earlier with that airplane story, how they're tinkering with the door. I mean, that sounds that's insane that someone would try to do that. I wonder what his reasoning was for doing that.
I don't know. I have no idea. They said that he's got some kind of mental issues. I can't call it, but something is wrong with the guy, clearly.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I remember basically, a lot of people were triggered by science and about biology and things that are natural and normal because they've been brainwashed by the cultural Marxists and the left. And I think a lot of people want to destroy the conservatives, and they always call us fascists and stuff, but they act like that, like with Antifa and all these people in recent videos that you came out with, that these people want to take guns and stuff. And I think it's extremely hypocritical that they do the same things like the Nazis did.
Yeah, it's very hypocritical, but there's a lot of that going on, a lot of projection going on.
Mm-hmm. And I remember earlier we were talking about booby traps, and I remember I think that it would be good to have as much self-defense as possible. And I remember because I studied about camping and stuff when I was younger, and so there could be a hole with something in it that's pointy, and then covered with something, or what you said with the mortar. And because it doesn't have to be too complicated. Like in the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong, they had those types of traps, unfortunately, and people would fall into them and there would be spikes and people would get impaled. And that is a simple booby trap. And I think if anybody was trying to home invade me, it would have a blasting problem. And it's good that we have the right to bear arms. And I'm glad that you would also do the same thing, because it's ridiculous how some of these hood rats act.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, as soon as the door gets breached, it's over with. It is over. I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to waste time. I'm not going to play any games. It is done.
Right. Yeah, and I do agree that my area gets hurricanes sometimes, and it's flooded in Katrina. But yes, it is sometimes the weather is tedious with certain places, but it is good. It has other benefits to it, like it has good area for growing things and different things like that. But yes, I do agree that you can't control Mother Nature.
Right, absolutely.
I know in Home Alone, that movie, they had a lot of booby traps. That was a really funny movie. Have you seen that one?
You said, what, Home Alone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've seen that in Carter. Well, I remember that back in the 90s. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And last time I haven't gotten through, so I will say, I think Target is insane for the satanic stuff that's displaying and the stuff to children with the LGBTQ stuff. And I am definitely going to boycott Target. And also Chick-fil-A is one I was surprised to hear about. And I think they're being controlled by something else that's bribing them or giving them money to do that. And I also think that they think it's profitable, and it's all about money. They don't really care about movements and stuff, in my opinion. They just want to cause destabilization, like with what Yuri Bezmenov said, and they want a bunch of money from it.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Right. And I like Trump, and he may not be perfect. I pray for him. But with DeSantis, I think he's cool, and maybe in the future he could do it, but I would like to see Trump back in again. And I don't know, sometimes some of my friends and I talk about, we don't know if he has establishment ties or not. Or what do you think?
I don't think so. I mean, not any more than anybody else. I think that these are pretty good. I think that DeSantis has all the upside of Trump and none of the downside. That's my opinion. But the problem, I would say the issue with it is Trump has more support than DeSantis has right now. So that's the key elements.
Right. And as I said before, I do hope that Trump is able to control his temper better.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
And better conduct with things. But all right, ABL, that's all I have to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Goodbye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Fantastic. All righty, and thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Corn Pop was a bad dude. Hey, Anthony, how's it going, man?
Everything's all right, man. How about yourself?
This is Quintavious Gooch. I just stole a bunch of designer clothes from Peachtree City. How are you doing, sir?
I'm well.
How do you like my pseudo-Roman name?
That
2,000
is
years ago.
That is hilarious.
Quintavious Gooch. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Can't you name your kid something better than that?
Man, people don't
man.
care. They don't care.
Yeah, they have no taste. I worked, I had a training class with a job that didn't work out years ago, and this lady called her daughter you. Y-O-U.
Wow. Crazy.
I'm like, come on, man. That's tasteless. That's pretty stupid, too. Well, here's your crime update for Atlanta. Unfortunately, a young woman of 30 years old got shot yesterday in Buckhead on Adena Drive, round the corner from Piedmont Road. But here's the thing. She stopped at a light. Well, she was in a Ford, I don't know, SUV or whatever.
Yeah, she was in the Uber. I saw that story.
Yeah, the Uber. And she was shot multiple times.
Yeah, they said that.
And she was only one block from her home.
Yep. She was going home, but they said that she was a dancer at the club. And there was some kind of altercation at the club. And then whoever she got into the confrontation with may have followed her. And then once the vehicle came to the light, they shot it up. It was crazy.
Yeah. She was from Ghana. She was apparently a victim of gang activity or something, I think. She was targeted.
Yeah, she was. Like I said, it could have been the fight.
Yeah. They said on the news that the people that killed her knew her.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sad. But anyway, that's anything can happen in wild and wacky Atlanta. So you know how it goes here.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I would like to say happy birthday to Atomic Tabasco. I wish you a long life and a very, very happy birthday. So I hope that guy does well. I don't know him, but I've read his comments in the live chat. He seems like a pretty cool guy.
Right on.
And also, somebody mentioned about 40 minutes ago in the live chat about this guy from Texas that's fighting in Ukraine. That little traitorous bastard's name is Russell Bentley. I've been following him since about the first week of March in 2022, about 2.5 weeks after the invasion of Ukraine. He's a real sick bastard. He's a communist, too. He has a communist little star with a hammer and sickle on his hat. And he was talking about Russia, how they're, liberating Ukraine from Nazis, and said that he would not go back to America unless the Russian tanks were liberating American cities from Nazis in America. I mean, he's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I've not seen that one.
So
That's pretty interesting.
I hope the Ukrainians catch up with him, torture him, put a bullet in his head. Because he's a damn traitor. I have no respect for traitors,
Right.
Anti-American traitors. I'm sick and tired. We have too many communists here. Anyway, so that's pretty much it, man. Nothing else going on here in Atlanta except for violence and bad traffic. But never mind that. We have some of the best Indian Thai restaurants here. So, that kind of makes up for it in part, I guess.
There you go.
But anyway, I just want to say, Trump 2024, you have a good night. And thanks a lot for taking my call. We'll talk next Wednesday.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the call. Well, that will be all right for me tonight. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. I appreciate y'all for joining. Shout out to y'all for being here through the little power outage. So I checked on my community's Facebook group, and they said that they had the same thing happen to them. So it wasn't just my house. I thought it was something wrong with my breaker, but nah, I don't know. It's just something wrong with the power out where I live at. It's just, it could get weird sometimes. Like, it'd be like a little short outage and come right back on. Yeah, so that's that. But thank you for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. I'll be back live again Saturday, same bat time, same bat place from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm here every single day putting out pre-recorded content. If you have any suggestions for topics, please email me. Do not blow my email up. I will block you. But for real, you can email me. It's fine. The email is on the website, and it is contact@anthonyblogan.com. The website is anthonyblogan.com. You're listening to a podcast right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or go to favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should be able to pop right on up. I got super chats I'm going to read right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, or whatever you do. I appreciate it. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls nice and in check. I couldn't do the show without y'all. Alrighty. Thank you to Not Provided, who says just tuned in. Already read that one about Sal Varshith. And thank you to Cal Denson, who says, ABL, did you hear about Shannon Sharp left undisputed? Yeah, I did see that. I might even do a video about that, maybe, potentially, if that makes sense to do. Because that's a pretty big shift in the landscape. But that will be all for me tonight. So y'all are amazing as well. As always, y'all know that. But I'll be back live again on Saturday. And of course, like I said, I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so right now. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.